costume again? We collect these videos for our refill break.
Blended with wit, sarcasm, and a pub-like atmosphere. We're adults talking about adult topics and using adult language. We laugh and make jokes about almost everything. We don't intend to upset, but some folks have their feelings hurt easily. This is all done in humor in the style of the great offenders such as George Carlin, Red Fox, Lenny Bruce, Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Wanda Sykes, Sam Kinison, George Lopez, Lisa Lampanelli, Chris Rock, and others. So grab your vice of choice, sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy yourself in the company of great people, hot toddies, and guests alike, because here we come.
No.
Put that long day behind you. Good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open, you'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and lend our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk the tavern. Promising beer and bed love. The talk the tavern. Music, medicine, and some. The talk the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
And welcome to, what are we on, June 7th episode of Talk of the Tavern. And let's see, this one is a VIP. It's a virtual international pub because we have an international guest, which we'll introduce in a moment. First, let me introduce the lovely, talented, vivacious, interesting, and pays me well, Andrea.
Yay. Okay.
What's your
Today, coffee, because coffee,
right.
And of course water, for now.
So how's your water thing going? Are you getting all the water in that you're supposed to?
Trying. Water, I don't like water. I like the water in my coffee.
Water likes you.
That's my favorite.
Russia. Water likes you. Okay, then our very special guest, who I actually just brought on the show because I like this guy. Now, he's talented, and he's funny, and he's well experienced and been around the block a few times. But all in all, the reason I reached out to this guy to have him on is because I just like him and wanted to hang out with him. So here's Richard Knowles, strongman, singer, performer, wit, Brit, shit. What's your vices today, buddy?
All of the above. Thank you for having me on the show. My vice today is going to be coffee. And in Britain,
what kind of coffee?
We don't mess around.
Are you drinking it straight out of a French press?
I'm not drinking it straight out of a French press, but this is press number 2 since we started to talk before the show. I'm a big believer in coffee. I love coffee.
Here.
I will never drink that freeze-dried shit again.
Yeah, I never liked coffee till I tried good coffee, and then I'm like, oh, no,
yeah.
I get it now. But before that, I was like, I really don't want any coffee. I'm good. Now, I'm still not picky like Andrea is, but I know the difference.
Oh, yeah, I can taste the difference.
So there we go. I'm readjusting my screen while we talk. I'm being a bad host. I'm a horrible... What? Oh, Richard, I'm sorry. I meant to do this before the show started, but we were having so much fun talking. I totally forgot to. In your Skype controls, go up to Tools, down to Options, where we looked for the microphone before.
Hold on, Bubba.
Take your time.
Tools. Yep.
Okay. In there, you're going to see a check mark in a black box, or a black check mark in a box that says automatically control the levels or some shit like that. Oh, I'm sorry. On the left-hand side, go to Sound Options.
Blah, 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 blah. What am I looking for? Automatically.
It's a small check, but you remember where the microphone checklist is? The drop list? I might have gone too fast, but let me pull this over here. Okay. So you've got your Skype options up, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Did you click
General settings, audio settings.
Audio settings. Then you're going to see microphone, and just below that is volume.
Yep. Oh, I got it.
Volume. Yeah. If there is a check mark where it says automatically adjust microphone settings, take that check mark out.
So unmarked, that automatically adjust. Done it.
And the same with the speakers. And then just click save and shut that thing down. What that does...
It's only because it was cutting off your conversation. We couldn't hear the first bit of what you were saying. That's all.
Oh, I got you. Let me do the same with the speakers. Automatically adjust speaker settings. Take that off.
There you go.
Save. Wow. It's almost like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. We won't tell anyone. We don't want that kind of pressure on you.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, it's like my girlfriend did one time.
Mm-hmm.
Not me.
No, not one time.
I put in the chat, everybody tell us what your vices are today. What's yours, Travis?
Oh, right. It's my turn. Hi, I'm Travis. I'm the host, and here I have coffee. Just coffee. There's no cream, no sugar, because
it's all in here.
That's right. It's all in Andrea.
Is it?
Well, she had the sugar first, but I gave her some cream.
You gave Andrea some sugar. I'm glad to hear it. She deserves it. Give me some sugar, Travis.
It's going to smear the camera, but here I go.
We need an opening toast.
I also have water.
Opening toast.
And I have pipes, but I haven't decided which tobacco I have. I have a choice of 3. Cross-eyed cricket, which is a nice aromatic, but it has a lot of Kia in it, and Perique. Or I can go with Autumn Evening, which is a...
So it has IKEA in it?
It does. It has a bunch of Swedes with Allen wrenches in
and
the jar.
Meatballs.
And meatballs.
Yeah.
Would expect their balls to be made out of.
So what is IKEA that goes in tobacco then? Is it some kind of weird weed that you're smoking now, Travis?
What
is it?
Latakia.
Oh, Latakia. Oh, gotcha. Latakia. Oh, I gotcha.
I've heard it both ways.
Black Cavendish. So there's a pure English blend that has much more Latakia and Perique and no aromatics in it. And then there's Autumn Evening, which is a maple-based aromatic that smells wonderful. I don't.
Smells like breakfast.
Yeah, I don't.
Smells like breakfast. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So what should I smoke today? What do you guys think? What do you want to smell?
Breakfast goes well with the coffee.
Were you gonna say church? The hell did that come from? Pun intended.
I don't know.
Is this something you want to tell us?
Have you converted?
It's not confession time yet.
Did you find
That's the
Jesus?
3rd hour.
I heard he was hiding in your nightstand drawer.
Yeah, finding Jesus all over the house.
Oh, Lord.
It's true. We have a game. Once I was a reporter, and I went to an event, and they're like, here, have flyers to pass out as you go around town, because you know everybody. And I'm like, okay. Well, they gave me Have You Found Jesus flyers, and it's a trifold flyer with a blue front and a drawing of Jesus. Not a picture, not like him, like Bigfoot in the woods. And they gave me a stack of like 50 of them. And I'm like, to hand out things to help support people, because it was about depression. It was a walk for recognizing depression that leads to suicide. And I went, okay, give me paperwork, let me pass this out. This is a really good cause. And then I get Jesus flyers. So I'm like, I'm not giving these out to stores. I didn't want them to waste their money and hand me papers I wouldn't give out, but they just gave me all kinds of crap. So what I did is I started hiding them around the house where Andrea lived.
Oh.
Just like 6 or 8 at a time. And then when she found them...
And then I find them and I re-hide them. This has been going on for over a year.
So yeah, we've taken them, and eventually one of us will take and collect all the ones the other one hides and our stuff, and we'll put them away. And 2-3 months later, we'll re-hide them, so they start finding them again.
Oh, that's just sneaky.
Yeah. Did you find Jesus?
So he'll hear me sometimes. I found Jesus. So. There you go.
So that's what it's like in our house.
I'm glad I live in my house.
We're glad you live there too.
We still need toast.
Should be.
Yes, toast.
Toast.
Opening toast.
Opening toast. Man, here's to just getting together, having a good time, and laughing through the stupid stuff and the serious shit.
Hear, hear.
And there is plenty of each to laugh at.
Man, it's this is going to be a lot like our Monday night shows, which are fun and inappropriate, but still terribly intelligent.
With just less people.
Do you drink more on your... Well, do you drink on your Monday night show?
Okay. We drink when we want to, which means sometime during the weekday shows, I absolutely have a drink. Today, I just haven't been able to get to a store to get what I like to drink. It's
grocery day.
There's that too. I have alcohol in the other room. In the library, I have the bar, and I have a dozen different bottles of this and that, but it's not what I want. So I don't drink it if I don't want it.
Because you're an adult.
Yeah, well, I'm a horrible alcoholic. People are like, oh, you drink every day? I'm like, yes, I do. And they're like, you're an alcoholic. I'm like, well, unless if I run out of what I like to drink, then the other 12 bottles sit there untouched as I go, if I'm not drinking. So, yeah, I am.
It's not drinking. I'm a firm believer it's not drinking that makes you an alcoholic. It's stopping that lets you know if you're an alcoholic or not.
Being able to stop or not stopping? Which one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Not stopping.
Oh.
Not being able to stop.
Okay.
If you can stop, like if you can get through an entire morning show without having a drink, like Travis here, then that means you're not an alcoholic.
Yeah, matter of fact,
as long as coffee doesn't count, I always have to have coffee.
Coffee is one of the... Coffee is a vitamin. Group. It's a food group all of itself.
See, and you know, today is kind of like Monday's show because we have a Brit. We have a guy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
on Monday also.
On Monday we have Kevin. He drinks coffee. So.
You know, I think moving the show to a later hour definitely needs to happen. I'm looking at... We've noticed... So in April we started the weekday shows. And we said, let's go 1, 2, 4. Because this allows us to... The UK... It's 6 o'clock when the show starts, goes till 9. Eastern Europe, it would be 9 o'clock going to midnight. So we get a bigger range of potential audience.
Yeah.
And also California.
And when we have the guest on, it's not like crazy o'clock there.
2 in the morning, yeah. But what we found is most of our European audience is UK, first of all. And the ones that aren't UK are pretty much... like Berlin, Paris, that kind of stuff. So
we have some Greenland.
Yeah, well, I'm going further into the time zones where it's later for them. No, it's just not all that late. So what I think we're going to do, because we notice our numbers start to climb in our third hour. That's when people start logging in and watching.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to move the show forward
getting off of work and
2 hours. So it'll be 3 to 6 instead of 1 to 4.
Yeah, that's an idea. Catch them when they get home from work.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at. And in the US, you know...
And before they go to the pub.
Good point. What time do people go to the pub in the UK? Because here it's, 1 in the afternoon?
Well, things are kind of changing in the pub scene in Britain. It used to be that pubs started when work closes up, anywhere between 4 and 6, 7, whatever you do for a living. But the price of beer in Britain is enough to scare you to death. So a lot of people are drinking at home and going out later.
Yeah, no, that's what we do here because I pay the cost of 1 beer in a restaurant, not even a bar or a pub. In a restaurant, for the price of 2 beers, I can go get a 6-pack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or the price of 1 mixed drink. You can get everything you need for it to make lots.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't drink an awful lot over here. I'm what I call a sporadic drinker. I'll go for 6 months without touching it because you've got to drive everywhere and drinking 1 beer is just enough to make you mad. And then we'll go to a party and Richard will overdo it with the margaritas and get absolutely slaughtered and then not do it again for 6 months.
Here. So should we make sure we get you on we'll set up multiple blenders and have margaritas and daiquiris and pina coladas all going.
Oh.
We'll let you know when we do our next party.
Yeah, please do. Please do. I love them.
Because you're not too far from us. So.
You know what? I think we need to set that up in July. A nice, hot summer day and tell people to wear shorts and tank tops and bring a bag of ice. And then basically go, we're going to do a blended drink party, and we're going to open all the doors and windows and turn on the fans and just have the whole house as a breezeway with cats locked away.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, and then
that'd be really cool.
Open all the doors, and I think so. I think that's a reasonable day spent.
Yeah. Now I've got used to the serving size of a margarita, I'll maybe able to behave myself. I've never drunk one till I came over here.
I don't like.
Oh.
I don't like margarita mix. But have you ever had a fresh made margarita with fresh squeezed lime, lemons, etc.?
I've only ever had the mix.
What a difference, Richard. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm missing out, am I?
You are.
You are.
You'll never drink
when
mix
I had
again.
a fresh made one, that's all I want now.
Does sound good. Well, a neighbour of ours had a little party in the street a few years back and set up a little picnic table with a margarita thing on it. It's just a big, glass jug full of alcoholic booze. Well, I'd never had one. She said, "Do you want to try one of these?" I said, "Yeah, all right." So, you know what they're like. They're nice and sweet. They don't taste too strong. So I'm like, this is pretty good. No idea what's in it. So I'm filling up my red Solo cup to the brim and drinking it like I'm at a damn lemonade stand. So I had about 4 of them. I had to go home. I'd never drunk one before. No.
Okay.
This was out in the plot of land outside my house.
Okay. Yeah.
But I lasted about an hour and a half. That was it. Knowles was out, literally.
It's and that's the intro to the show. You know what? I've got music here from you. Now, it's you and Dave Lee, and you guys were calling yourselves, what the hell were you called again? Wandering Piccadillys.
The Wandering Piccadillys. There you go.
What is a Piccadilly?
A Piccadilly is what is a Piccadilly? It's the name of a train station in London.
And
it's the name of an underground train station. Oh. Yes. Okay. Piccadilly.
I thought it was a troll that picks their nose.
I'm Googling.
You could be right. He lives in a train station.
Andrew, you were going to say something and I interrupted you.
I was going to say, I did not know that was him until you mentioned it. I've heard these songs. Travis has played these. They are amusing.
They are.
I didn't know it was you.
And we could play one. You know what? Which one features you best, Richard? Do you know?
Features me best? Probably Smoke My Pipe.
I think so. I'm going to start with that one then. Hey, give me a second. I'm checking the definition of a Piccadilly. Okay. Yeah, there we go. One of the main streets of London, running from Piccadilly Circus to Hyde Park Corner. So.
Oh, I like my answer better.
Yeah, it's just a place.
It is just a place.
So I thought maybe it had a name like, oh, we're in quite a Piccadilly, aren't we? Guess not. Damn it. Okay, let's play this song. I'm going to put the fan on my window so I can light a pipe. Did we decide what tobacco I'm smoking, or do I just have to figure this out all on my own? Breakfast?
You were going to smoke the breakfast one.
You got it. So here's this. And, now, Richard, it's your music. If you want to talk over it, you can. We won't till you do. Okay?
You can sing to it. I don't care.
That's right. You can
sing to it.
Remember all the words?
Sing at it, yeah.
Let's hear. Here we go, guys.
Okay, this is a little song called Smoke My Pipe. I smoke my pipe at breakfast. I smoke my pipe at lunch. I smoke my pipe in the afternoon at 11's and lunch. I smoke it in the bathtub when the water's nice and hot. I smoke my pipe and read the morning paper on the pot. Grandma always told me, son, you'll stop your growth and make your mustache curl. But then one day
Cat
I
likes
met
it.
a man who came to me and said, once the ladies see the pipe, they'll jump right into bed. I smoke my pipe in swanky bars, I smoke in sleazy joints. I smoke whilst playing bridge and win by 50,000 points. I smoke it in the morning and at night when I retire. I try to smoke it in my sleep and set the bed on fire.
There we go. So that was you playing guitar also, right?
That certainly was.
Man, of many talents.
Certainly was. I've never actually listened to myself recorded before.
It's
You're
odd,
welcome.
isn't it?
It's what, I'm sorry?
It's odd, isn't it?
It is very odd. It is very odd. It's kind of embarrassing, I have to say.
It's one of those things you got to keep in mind. That's what we hear every time you open your mouth. The light,
My God.
musical strains of swanky, sleazy bars and smoking on the pot.
Uh-huh.
So
My wife won't actually let me smoke in the house, so the smoking on the pot thing's a lie, but there you go.
Is my thing muted?
No, you're here.
Okay, I was earlier. Okay, sorry.
Zazzle is very excited about the tobacco. I can't. Hey, speaking of, let me show you. Look at my pipe tamper.
Oh my goodness, that's very swanky.
Then it has the poker and the knife that I can pull.
Poker and a knife. Wow.
And for the viewing audience there.
So, do you smoke pipes?
Yeah, on and off. Bit
Okay.
like the drinking, about once every few weeks.
It's
Do you have a collection of pipes, or
Uh,
just a favorite?
I pick them up from second-hand shops and antique stores. I refuse. I'm a professional red-blooded American cheapskate. Well, British cheapskate, and I refuse to pay more than $10 for any pipe because I just like the shape of them. I just like the wood.
one of the nice things about the show is that we have gotten sponsors. So, for example, I'll smoke this pipe first since we're going to speak this way. This pipe right here is
Well, that's a cool-looking pipe.
Mr. Brogg. It's a poker, and let me see if I can show. And give me a second, guys. I'll show you on your camera. See if you can
Go
see
ahead.
the detail on the stem there.
Oh, that's a cracker, isn't it? Look at that.
It's very nice with the patterning and
Mm-hmm.
but this was actually sent to me so I can smoke it and do a review and speak about it on the show. So, and yeah, all in all, a really great pipe. It's become now, again, because of the two cameras, it's hard to do this, but
Yeah, I was going to say, you
let
can't
me
see his collection.
angle this a bit. Okay, can you hold on? I'm gonna move things a little. Can you see the pipe collection?
Oh yeah,
And that's just some of them. There's
that's
more.
just some of them.
Mhm.
Damn,
It's, got things.
you're a hoarder. Travis is almost a hoarder.
Well, this is.
And he
actually-
smoked them all.
Yeah, I smoked them all, but
Not at the same time.
which is,
My
stop
God.
the keyboard, cat. Sorry, the cat keeps on pulling up the calculator and covering Richard's face. The cat knows what people want or don't. But yeah, I once had probably 2.5 times what I have now. I had like 130 pipes at one point in time. And because
Wow.
I didn't smoke them all, because some smoke well, some don't, I decided to go and start giving new pipe smokers little care kits. And I'd give them some tobacco, 2 or 3 tobaccos, and 3 pipes. And I'd send them off to these new smokers. So I actually worked my pipe collection down so they all fit on just one of those racks. And then I started building.
So you limited yourself to one bookshelf's worth of pipes.
You know,
Wow, Travis.
Well, there's a
that's
pipe.
not good of me, isn't
There's
it?
a pipe stand in the living room too. You know, the ashtray that holds all the pipes.
Oh, I got
There's
you.
one of those too. So there's
Wow.
But on the other
Wow.
hand, it's, and I only have, at one point in time, I literally had 50 or 60 different tobaccos. And now I think I'm down to a dozen.
You just get through the initial enthusiasm of it and decide what you like and find out that most of it's crap and settle on what you like.
Yes and no. I started smoking when I was 22. I had never smoked cigarettes. I went out and bought a pipe because I liked pipes and I wanted to smoke.
Yeah.
So I went out and bought one and learned. And then as time went on, you collect things, and by the time I was 30 or so, I had way more pipes than I needed. And yes, I kind of did that with the tobaccos. I found, and even the good tobaccos, to me, for my palate, some are crap. And others, even if they're not good tobacco, I like them. So I kind of have my 3 favorites now, and then I like to try others now and then. And that's what these 3 here in the jars that you saw are the ones, they're my favorites. That's why I have a lot of them in the jars. Whereas over here, when I showed you these, you might have seen some small tins up there, which are only a couple ounces of them. And where is everyone today? That is odd.
I'm doing some more posting on social media. So what he's saying, Richard, is when you come over for a margarita party, you can have a pipe too.
Yes.
Oh, Travis.
Absolutely.
That's very kind of you.
Yeah.
I might even bring one of my own.
There you go. And for anybody who's watching who's like, ew, he's going to smoke your pipe. When I have guests over, I also like to use my silverware too. The bottom line is, if you clean things, it's okay. So, if anybody's discussing.
He'll wipe his pipe before he lets you smoke it, though, Andrea.
Well, we're not talking about that.
Andrea has tried to smoke my pipe once or twice.
Apparently so.
Decided to
I'm not a
cigar.
I prefer cigars. I have a good collection of cigars. I'm not big on pipe smoking. It's too much work. I'm lazy.
It is a bit of work. It is a lot of work, especially if you're not very good at it, like me.
But if you,
I can do it, but if I'm doing that and having a drink, no.
It's true. It's true. This is why you drink things like brandy and a good sipping whiskey, because with your pipe, it gives you a chance to put it down and enjoy the pipe, then put the pipe down and sip for a little, and then, because pipe's going to go out anyway, so every time it goes out, take a drink. It's a drinking game.
It's a drinking game.
That's great.
It's a very calming thing to do.
It is, and
that's partly why I started it.
It's what I tell pipe or cigar smokers. It's not about the tobacco. It's not about the nicotine. It's about the ritual.
Yeah.
That calming, soothing, slow it down a moment ritual.
Yeah. Because if you try and smoke it too quick,
you're gonna burn yourself.
It gets too hot. You'll burn yourself, and it will be very unpleasant.
Yeah. It's called tongue
bite. It's very contemplative.
It is. It is. So, let's talk about your strongman stuff. Your freak show.
I thought you'd never ask.
Get a kissy kitty.
Well, I have been known to do a strongman act. I call myself Paddington Aldrich.
That is steam, by the way.
Yeah, I found out, Dave Lee and I found out that the best way to make up a steampunk alternate persona is to take pretty much any 2 London Underground station names and stick them together.
Okay, hold on. I'm London Underground stations. Give me a second. I'm getting a list here.
Oh. Okay.
List. There we go. Go straight to Wikipedia. Why the hell didn't I think of that?
Yeah. Just stick 2 together.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's hold on. Do you guys want this list also? Should I post it over here on Twitch for you?
Yeah, come on, man.
Okay. Now, Richard, you're not looking on Twitch, are you? You don't have to. Okay. Let me do this. I'm going to throw it into the Skype chat.
Oh.
So let's see how well this works.
Come in, Clamp Ham.
Excuse me?
Covent Garden is one, and then Clapham.
Clapham.
So Covent.
Clapham.
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 Oh, whatever.
Covent Clapham.
Okay, how about this one? Angel Barking Side.
That would be an awesome strip name.
That's what I'm thinking. They had.
Oh God, you're encouraging him.
They had barking, and then I'm like, oh no, Barking Side, which is right after that, is better. Yeah.
Angel Barking Side.
You know, this is great because they have like on this list the main line opened, and here's like, main line open 1926, 1854. I'm like, crap, I don't think we invented people then. Oh, hold on. We got to do this one. Let me find another one to go with that one.
I'm worried.
What's that? Burnt Oak Blackfriars.
There you go.
That sounds a little racist.
Sounds like
Burnt Oak Blackfriars. It sounds like some kind of gang, doesn't it?
It does.
Or dinner.
Yeah, that's true.
Brian Cross,
Wow.
Burnt Oak. I'm just being silly. Chigwell. Oh, there's got to be something that goes with Chigwell. Oh, Chorleywood. Chorleywood Chigwell.
Chorleywood. There you go. That's a nice, happy little name, isn't it?
Oh, here's Cockfosters. Okay, what's going? Angel Cockfosters.
Oh, here we go.
Oh man, I want to tell people I'm going to Cockfosters. It's where they foster my cock, find it a happy home for a couple weeks, and then it moves on to another one. It's in the system, if you know what I mean.
Back in the 80s, when we were children and sparkles in the postman's eye, there was a beer called Foster's out of Australia that they started to sell in Britain.
It's still here in the US, you know, that we can go to the store right now and buy a couple.
Yeah. Well, they had a terrible joke on an advert, and somebody would come up to, do you remember Crocodile Dundee?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, he was in it. I can't remember his name, but he was in it with the whole leather hat with the shark's teeth on it and all the rest of it.
Paul
Hogan, that's him. The guy would come up to Paul Hogan and say, "Excuse me, sir, what is the best way to cock Foster's?" And Paul Hogan would turn around and say, "Drink it warm, mate." Is that not just wah, 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 wah? Is that not just awful?
See, there was 4 years ago, Kmart tried to become hip and with all the kids, and they created a ad campaign where they were talking about their shipping, so you can have anything shipped to your house. But instead of just saying this, they had people in the store staring at the camera, very excited, wide variety, old, young, black, white, etc., etc. And one person is like, "I just shipped my pants." So
I remember. I shipped my drawers.
That's right. And I'm like,
I
you know what?
commercial.
They would have stayed in business if they had done this 5 years before and took the fucking risk.
Yeah.
This is genius. By the way, I'm looking at a place, and I think with the underground stations, you need to take the last word off. So if it's like Gloucester Road or Golders Green, well, Golders Green you might be able to leave, but if it has like Road, Street, Park, whatever, yank that off. Take that one off. So here's Googe Street. So I'm thinking Cockfosters Googe would be a great
Cockfosters Googe.
criminal underground contact. So, you talk to Cockfosters Googe. Ew, is that sticky?
Cockfosters. Oh, I think I just trod in some Cockfosters Googe.
Well, that's what you get out for hanging out with Angel. What was her last name again?
Barkingside.
That's right. Angel Barkingside had a little Cockfosters Googe next to her.
Angel Barkingside has a little Cockfosters Googe and will be up on bricks for the foreseeable future.
So no, I think this works at least for my amusement's sake.
Oh yeah. Well, that's how we came up with it. I think Dave used it to come up with his Hat and Cross brand as well.
That would make sense.
Hampton Cross. Yeah, there you go. Hampton Cross, that's a tube station name. So that's how I came up with the name Paddington Aldwych for the Strongman Act. And I've done it a couple of times and thoroughly enjoyed it. My wife was horrified when I told her. She was even more horrified when she saw me do it. Last time I went, she refused to come.
Oh, did she show up at least?
No, wouldn't come.
Right.
No, she says she doesn't like to see me do the nail in the nose trick. Or the smashing the block over the genitals trick.
Hey, it's a cock block.
The cock
I remember the first time I saw this.
The cock blocker. There you go.
There's a joke.
That's the new name for the act.
At some point in time, isn't it?
The cock blocker. I'm sorry, Andrea, you were saying the first time you saw me do it?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I want to know, were you bored one day and did you think, hey, this sounds like a good idea, let me try it?
Pretty much. Pretty much. I think that's how a lot of good ideas get invented. I mean, you know, banging the nail in the nose. I mean, you think about the inventor of the Bloody Mary. Now, who's going to sit there, drink a perfectly good vodka and think, you know what, that tastes fucking awesome with half a can of tomato juice in it. But here we are.
You know, I think where that came from is somebody went, hey, you need to have your vegetables too. You can't just sit there drinking all day. And the guy went, fuck off, I got tomatoes. Which is horrible.
Yep, there you go.
Maybe if I
And
mush
celery.
them. Yeah. There we go, a little bit of pepper. I got 3 vegetables. Fuck off. Tell me what I need
There you go.
to do. I'll have them all.
There you go. Some Russian sat in the middle of a field of potatoes drinking himself to death.
Look, I want tomato in my potato.
I want to put it. Yeah, there you go.
You need a little bit.
My God, this vodka tastes like shit.
Turn it around.
There we go.
It tastes like my babushka's false teeth. Oh, God.
Why would his babushka's teeth taste like shit? What the hell has his babushka been doing?
What do you think?
What do you think? What do you do when your teeth taste like shit?
I brush them and don't tell anybody. What do you do?
Pretty much same as you. Pretty much same as you.
You know,
That's disgusting.
how horrible are we ready to get here?
Oh, we can lower the bar as far as you want, man.
Okay.
We can lower the bar as far as you want.
So you ever been performing anal sex as opposed to receiving, and you pull out and there's a little bit of poo on your junk,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's not like I can taste it, so let me just go clean up. Okay, good enough. But people who eat ass, don't they ever worry they're going to have a little poo on their tongue? Asking for a friend.
Do you worry about it, Travis?
I don't eat ass often.
On behalf of
There's
your
large...
friend.
Huh?
On behalf of your friend, do you worry about it?
I haven't done it a whole lot, and usually there's a very rigorous cleaning schedule before that.
Well, the cats are self-cleaning, you know.
Oh, that's right. And I grab my cats and go, hey, kitty. Whip that tail up and go. They're all ready to.
I understand a 12-inch square of saran wrap and some masking tape will solve a lot of problems as well.
I'm trying to. Are you put like over my own head and tape it on? Is that what?
Yes, just wrap it around tight.
Yeah, just wrap it around tight, good and tight. It may create as many problems as it solves, though,
Well,
thinking about
ultimately, it will solve all your problems.
it.
Mm.
Yeah, unless you get the cheap saran wrap, then it just pops a little hole in there. Pop.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Kind of strains it through like a cheesecloth. Ooh.
Oh,
Do you remember those Play-Doh toy sets we had when we were a kid where you pushed the Play-Doh through and it like make hair? I'm just imagining that now.
Oh my God.
See, the direction the show is going in. Yesterday we were discussing 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
We did our guest yesterday had never heard of it. And we're like,
I've heard of it. I've not seen it. I've not seen it. I have heard about it.
Don't do it. It's fake anyway. Don't do it.
I'll try and resist the urge.
You do that, mister.
If you really want to get morbid, have you seen 3 Guys, 1 Hammer?
Is this involved another cock block?
No. This is seriously nasty shit. There were 2 young guys beat up this older guy in his 60s, and they're out in the middle of the woods somewhere, and they literally club him to death with a hammer and a screwdriver and film it.
And put it up where?
Is this the same hammer and screwdriver you use in your act?
It's not it may be the same hammer. It's certainly not the same screwdriver. But yeah, these 2 guys will move swiftly on from this, but I've got to get it off my chest. These 2 guys pretty much just beat this guy to death with a hammer and a screwdriver, literally to the point where he's still alive, and they're pulling one of his eyes out with a screwdriver.
So
sticking it in the hole and waggling it about.
Where did this video get posted?
Well, it wound up on YouTube. It was taken down pretty quick, but you can find it if you look.
Oh my goodness.
I'll take your word for it, but yeah, it's one of those things that you... Okay, this is going to be really horrible here. I want to question why they filmed it more than I want to question why they did it. I assume they did it because they're sick, or they felt they had in some twisted way, they felt they were justified in doing this to this man for something he did. Which I don't know what that is. Was it racial? Did he sleep with their mother and not pay?
As far as I know, it's just he was a complete stranger, and they just abducted him and killed him, and
okay, so they're just sick.
Stuck it up on YouTube. They're just sick fucks, yeah.
Yeah, and wanted some attention.
There's 2 of them, and I presume that one of them was egging the other one on to see just how depraved they could get, and there you go. Anyway, 3 Guys, 1 Hammer.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: neither one turns me on. I wouldn't be touching my hammer while watching 2 Girls, 1 Cup or 3 Guys, 1 Hammer.
Certainly not. I wouldn't bother with. I wouldn't even want to watch 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
I wouldn't want to watch either one.
The only interest I've got in the other one is what the hell has to happen to somebody to make them that sick.
Yeah. Now, were they caught? Do you know?
Oh yeah, they were caught. Okay. Yeah.
And what country was this in?
This was in United States, I believe. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear they're caught, and I'm happy to see them go through the justice system. And you know what? I'm also one of those believers that, especially if they can hook more than one crime to these people, if this wasn't the only time. Because I tell you what, you don't start at that level.
No, you don't start doing that.
No, you start significantly lower than that and work your way up to that.
Yeah.
So with that, if they can find the other crimes these guys inevitably committed before that moment, take out the trash.
Yep, take out the trash.
Yeah,
I'd be more than happy to take it out for them. If nobody else has got the stomach for it, I would be more than happy to do it myself.
And that's the other thing. People, and this is getting dark, we'll flip back to more amusing stuff in a minute. But people are always like, oh, if somebody did this horrible thing to this person I love, I would hunt them down and do horrible things to them. I'm like, I would just put them out. I'd just end it. There's no reason.
Because no matter what you're doing to them, imagine the repercussions on you.
Right. It's you pop them, you walk away, the deal is done. They never hurt anybody again. Anything you do to them will not fix whatever horrible thing they did to somebody else. And also, do you want to put your mind down that jagged, jaded, broken road?
Yeah.
Get your closure, walk away. They never hurt anybody again. You're done.
I wouldn't do it to get any enjoyment out of it, and I would want to do it simply. Yeah. But I would do it because it's something that needs to be done, like mowing the grass.
Like mowing the grass.
Mowing your lawn, you got to mow your lawn. You know?
If you're Travis and Old Yeller and your dog has rabies, put him down.
Oh, not the dog, please.
Yeah, sorry. He pooped on my lawn.
Oh.
What?
What?
Well, you put one down for pooping on your lawn. Damn. You cold, Travis.
He did it rapidly. It was very foamy poop.
That's hardcore.
What?
So anyhow,
Wow.
you were saying as a teenager you were laying in bed and having sex with a cinder block, and you decided you wanted a hammer. Go on.
Yeah. So, well, I wasn't a teenager. It would be easy to explain if I was a teenager and had these ideas, but no. I was probably early 40s when it first occurred to me that,
right?
yeah, it may be fun to hammer a cement block over your balls or stick a nail up your nose or whatever.
Now, what else do you do? Do you do the bed of nails or anything else?
I started to make a bed of nails. I calculated that it was going to take about 8,500 nails to do. Mm-hmm. And
that many?
Stopped. Yeah, it really is, because you have to put them pretty close.
See, my problem wouldn't be how many nails it would take. It would be hammering them in a straight line.
Yeah.
Because even when you map it out, pre-drill all the holes, which drilling 8,000 holes alone is a...
Use a nail gun.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't necessarily help.
I don't know.
Well, I have considered giving it another shot, and I have a cunning plan. You know that pegboard you can get to put up in your garage to hang tools on?
Yes.
Sell that at Lowe's.
They sell it at Lowe's. Get about 6 sheets of that and push the nails through. If you can find the nails big enough to get wedged in the holes, save you a lot of drilling, and they'd all be lined up. So we'll see.
I know where you can get all that.
Thick nails. You know what?
Sorry?
You need some thick nails, but what you could do...
How long do they need to be?
You want 3-4 inches?
You want a good long nail, because it needs to look impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's going to clap and cheer if you get on a couple of million staples, are they? So you need a good long nail.
Ooh, that'd be more painful.
You need a good long nail, 4 inches, maybe 4 inches sticking out once it's through the wood, because it'll look better.
And once you get your 6 layers or whatever, put a piece of plywood on the bottom so they don't slip out when you lay your
No, it'll come out. Yeah, there you go.
You get that.
So it could happen. It could happen.
Let us know, and we'll come out and cover this talk of the path.
Oh, yeah. I may be looking for an assistant to come stand on the chest as well.
Let's go with Andrew.
Not
me. It's 100 pounds less.
It's not necessarily for the bed of nails. This is just a private thing I've got going for myself.
So he does want you for that.
Yeah. But yeah, that, and the only other stunt I do is Aldwich's unliftable barbell, which is made to look like it weighs about 600 pounds, but it is in reality 2 bowling balls and a piece of plumbing pipe. I have it behind me. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, have it whip out your plumbing pipe, big guy.
Let me whip out my balls and pipe for you.
Oh my goodness.
Give me 1 second here. So this is Aldwich's unliftable barbell. And you've got to make a big... Make a big thing of hoisting it into the air.
So you just make bathroom noises.
He can't hear you.
Oh,
I had good fun, mate. I had good fun with that.
When you lift it, you just make bathroom noises then, right?
Yeah, you just act like you're trying to pass the biggest poo you've ever passed in your entire life.
Gas, if it's audible, and add that into the mix.
Yeah. What I did at one show was actually ask Dave Lee to make a big show of lifting it, because Dave is a big dude.
Right.
You clearly you've met him. You've known him a long time. He's I don't know. I'll conservatively put him at about 6'3", and he's probably 220 maybe. He's a big boy.
So I'm at what point he is. He's been a little more or a little less.
Depending on his consumption versus his exercise regime. Huh?
That's right. Very true. Maybe that's why he builds things, so he spends time sweating in the garage to keep the weight down.
Oh God, it's got to be so hot in that garage.
Yeah.
Plus, the literally just clambering over the stuff that he's already built is a workout in itself.
He needs a spare garage or two.
He does. I've yet to see him get from one end to the other.
Yeah, usually goes back up the front door, opens the garage door, and goes in the other side.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Hey, Andrea, have you named that thing over your shoulder there?
The creepy person in the corner?
Yeah.
No, you want to name it?
No, yes. Oh yeah, we want to name it, don't we, Richard? You still got the London Underground list up?
Oh God.
There we go.
I tell you what.
There we go.
Now, don't pull it up quite yet. We've got 4 minutes. We're going to go into a refill break. While we're in the refill break, we'll take those 5 minutes to look through the list to come up with a name for her dummy, and we'll compare notes when we come back on air.
How dare you assume her intelligence? Oh my God.
Oh no, I didn't assume. I just definitely know an idiot. I recognize kindred spirit.
Call it like it is.
See,
like it is.
No, it's been almost 2 hours since you've been on with the pre-show. Has it felt that long?
No. It's actually getting easier.
See?
Oh yeah. It just the conversation flows, and by the way, I have a list of 5 different things to discuss here, and we've only gone over 1 out of 5.
Wow.
So see how things go, and we still have this whole book to go through if we want. We have so much content. We're good.
Plus, I haven't given myself a nosebleed yet.
That's true.
Nope. But let's save that for the 3rd hour.
Let's save that for the 3rd hour if we're still going.
Like we said,
I'm still going.
More people.
I mean, we have some more people. We have some more people now, but there'll be even more coming.
I assumed you were going to hang out for the 2nd hour. Let me ask you, Richard, would you like to hang out with us for the 2nd hour also?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Excellent.
He's like, no, screw you guys, I'm going home.
No, seriously, this is a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable than I thought it'd be.
Oh, yay!
Well, when you heard my name attached to it, you went, oh, God, this is going to be rough.
Oh, God, yeah.
This
is going to be a real struggle. Yep.
It is. I'm hungry again. Did you have breakfast, Richard?
I did.
There's
hey, Elizabeth!
Tall Sally just joined us, whose real name is Elizabeth. She's one of our regular hosts on Monday night. Elizabeth, this is the type of guy that's your competition for the weekdays if he's free. This is our Monday night equivalent. He's awesome and fun and stupid and ridiculous and makes fun of himself and has intelligence.
And he's a strong man.
He's strong. He smells strong. and
well, hello, Elizabeth. Nice to meet you.
You may have met her at MarsCon. Do you remember somebody called Pickle Lady?
Yeah.
That's her.
Oh, yeah, we have met. Yeah, that was a while back.
Yeah.
That must have been a while
back. She moved to New York to make movies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's
so we see her on occasion.
Good for you. Awesome.
Pops down here on holiday and visits us, and then scurries back to New York City to be all famous and, starving artist.
Wow. Starving artist.
It's just like you and me there. It's you know what? Let's take a moment. Let's go into I hate to do this right when Elizabeth shows up, but we got to get a refill break in here. But
you could put Elizabeth's refill break. She could watch herself.
I think she's seen it. Elizabeth, have you seen your own refill?
It amuses me so much when she's running down the aisle with the axe giggling.
It's
I love it.
Now, who wouldn't want to see that?
It's
well,
wonderful.
The people in Lowe's when we were filming it, apparently, from the way they scattered it. But that was filmed. Oh, no work today.
When you said aisle, I naturally assumed you were in a place of worship. I didn't think you meant
Well,
I didn't think you meant the plumbing aisle.
It is a place of worship to the hardware gods.
I guess so.
It's a capitalist consumerism place of worship. Welcome to Merca. Okay.
I'll tell you something else, Dave. Go ahead.
I was going to send us into the break. Do you need to say something before we go?
No, you're right.
And I'll go
write it down. Tell us when we come back.
Make a note. Okay, everybody mute. We'll be back in a minute. Or 5. And we'll get the name for Andrea's dummy.
Hello, Kevin here. As a professional Englishman, I spend most of my time sodding about on the water being professionally British at people. But when I'm not, you'll find me every Monday night on Twitch TV, where I'm getting toasted at Talk at the Tavern.
Talk at the Tavern. Here you're always welcome.
This is Ed, Talk at the Tavern, toasting to the hot toddies in the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
It's nap time. Because we need to be well rested before we get toasted. At Talk of the Tavern.
Bring me your poor, huddled masses. And we'll get toasted at Talk of the Tavern. Whoop whoop!
Hello, Kevin here again, and I think you can see that for a clearly uplifting experience, it's crane to see you should be spending your Monday nights watching Talk of the Tavern on Twitch TV. Let's get toasted.
This is Ed with Talk of the Tavern, and this is the lower half of the campground I stayed in this weekend. I'm now stuck in a fucking cabin in the upper half of the campground because the goddamn road is washed out. Yep, that's an Ed rant.
I don't know which way to go to get toasted at Talk of the Tavern.
Hey! Happy Memorial Day! And thanks to YouTube, I can get toasted all weekend long with Talk of the Tavern. Cheers, Slaja! Kampai! Salud! Whoop whoop!
She's got a ticket to ride. She don't care because she's getting toasted at Talk of the Tavern.
This is Ed, drinking with the Tavern crew at the bottom of Blue Suck Falls and Doublet State Park.
Look who's getting toasted at Talk of the Tavern.
Hey, it's Elizabeth. And when I'm not watching Shakespeare in the Park, I'm getting toasted on Talk of the Tavern. Woo!
So there's this vicious rumour that all Englishmen live in an ivory tower. It's true. There's mine. But when they let me out for good behaviour, I like to get toasted. Talk of the Tavern.
This is Ed with Talk of the Tavern, having a wee dram above the dam in the beautiful Allegheny Highlands of Virginia.
Meow, 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 meow. Talk of the Tavern. Okay, and we're back. Elizabeth, you still with us? Yes?
You know what you need to do? You need to send Richard the link so he could actually see the video on YouTube. It's very amusing.
Yeah, please do. I'd love to see that.
Now, wait, video on YouTube? Or are you talking about on Twitch?
No, the one on YouTube of the refill break.
Oh, well, there's a lot of them. What I just sent you is the link to Twitch. Richard, if you decide to go there, you can see the chat. Just do yourself a favor. Mute the channel, otherwise you're going to hear everything twice with a couple second delay in between.
I got you.
Drive yourself nuts.
All right. What I want to do, being as I'm so inept with technology, is leave it for this week.
Yeah, that's fine.
And give it a shot, and I hope I get invited back at some point.
It's you know what? I wasn't kidding. I don't blow smoke up people's ass. So the things I'm saying, they're genuine. Where I'm like, you know,
He doesn't do it anymore. He's got asthma.
No, it's asthma.
Oh, God.
See, he's like, wait a minute. I'm reconsidering coming back now.
Sweet angel of death, please
sweet
take
anus
me
of
now.
death.
Sweet anus of death. There you go.
Or what was her
I'm
name?
going to-
Angel who?
Barking something.
Angel barking side.
I'm going to get the link to the YouTube channel so you could see the videos if you want later. I'll put it in the Skype chat. So,
that'd be great. Thank you.
Just so you know.
We totally forgot to look through. Oh, now do you want a proper name or do you want a silly name for your little dummy there? We didn't look through we got up, did our thing, came back on air instead of
get coffee or whatever.
See, there's like Victoria
Hey,
Vauxhall.
put the link in the chat again so Elizabeth can see it and our new viewers can see it and pick a name. So, explain the process again. Elizabeth
and others. First of all, glad you liked the video, Elizabeth. It is a good one, and you didn't even get to see the whole thing. So there we go. The link I'm putting right now, everyone, is a list of London Underground stations because Richard here presented the concept that if you choose any two station names, you create a decent, reasonable steampunk name. And because we are who we are, I immediately went to, let's see, there was Angel Barking Side. Then we also had, what was the Goose? See, I don't even remember these now.
I didn't write it down. It's better that way.
Cockfoster's Googe.
Cockfoster's Googe. That was it.
There you go.
So for your little girl there, we could do like I said, Victoria Vauxhall is a reasonable name, or Fairlop Farrington, sorry. But we could also come up with we could just go with Cockfoster's Googe. I think that's a good name for your dummy.
Cockfoster's Googe. Here you go.
Okay, Cockfoster's.
Or Angel Barking Side, if you want to write that down.
No, Cockfoster is fine. It's fine.
Just call it CFG for short.
Just call it Cock for short.
How about Canary Bayswater?
What the hell is that?
Canary Wharf and Bayswater? Canary Bayswater. What do you think? I'm just running through my list here and picking them out at random.
Kilburn Blackfire.
Kilburn Blackfire. There you go.
I'm going to use this to name villains in some of my books here.
Oh Lord.
That's Kilburn Blackfriar. How is that not a good villain name?
Kilburn Blackfriar. I used to work in Kilburn, actually. My first job after I left school, my first proper job, was at the TSB Bank. Stands for Trustee Savings Bank. We used to call it the Two Sore Balls. But it was at the TSB on Kilburn High Road. That was many, many moons ago.
Oh, you know what? Here's Mary LeBone.
Oh.
Now, I'm sure it's actually pronounced like Marlebone. But
it is.
How about Cockfoster LeBone?
Well, this is all one word. Mary LeBone. I think you could just go with that. Just that alone as a name.
Hey, I'm looking at the Talk of the Tavern channel on YouTube. What refill video should I send him?
That one was the host refill video. But you might want to send him the Elizabeth one and the guest one.
Is that one on there?
Which one?
Because I don't see it, Elizabeth.
Yeah, it'll be down a bit further because that was made a couple weeks ago. There's 2 Paddington stations?
Oh, I see.
Well, that's cheating. There's 2 Paddington stations.
What do you mean there's 2 Paddington stations?
There is one in Hammersmith and City Circle and another one in District Circle, Bakerloo.
No, they're the same station, but on different levels, different lines.
one side of the street, the other. So yeah, you got Parade
Yeah.
Street and Bishop's Road. So
Yeah.
I guess you're getting off at a different crossroad.
Yeah.
Putney Bridge, Queens Park, Queensberry, Ravenscourt.
Okay.
Yes, you going to get your coffee because it just beeped?
No, I'm trying to put... This stupid thing is not working. I'm trying to post the link.
It's just a machine. It only does what you tell it to do.
You two sound like you're having a conversation about me when I'm frisky.
I haven't had...
I am a machine.
This damn thing is
Oh
just
god,
not
there's
working.
a comic.
There's a what?
Remember that comic, I Am a Machine?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Here's the link in the Skype chat. Enjoy that.
Well,
yeah,
thank
coffee's done.
Thank you. Again, I'm not going to pull it up now because it'll probably go horribly wrong.
Oh. Okay, here's...
Guaranteed.
Tooting Broadway. So why don't we take Tooting Mary LeBone? Or Mary LeBone Tooting.
Oh.
Tooting needs to be in there somewhere,
I think I have one I think I have one that trumps that.
Oh. Tell me.
Toey's here now.
Look under M.
Under M.
For mud shoot.
Oh my god.
Am I on mute again?
No, we hear you. We're just very excited about what we're talking about. Hi, Toey. We're Toey.
I keep hitting mute.
It's a webinar is good. And Toey, this is what we're looking at. It's a list of London Underground stations that, and this is Richard.
He's the strongman.
How you doing?
Strongman, a musician. We could play another one of your songs too, by the way, when you're.
Oh, and later, everybody stick around because he's going to hammer stuff into his head.
Yep. And sadly, he will not be able to do his cock block act on air.
Well, you need a lovely assistant for that.
Yes, he
needs. Do not have a lovely assistant or a block.
He needs a strong man with two strong fists to help him with the cock block.
God's sake.
And you're worried about having nothing to talk about. I will give the warning again, guys. It's an adult show, and it is one of those episodes. So if that's an issue, whether it means leaving or whether it means not hosting us and hosting us on Twitch, that's one of these days. So keep that in mind for today.
I'll warn you before I do any hammering.
Oh, not just that, just our language and everything. Some of these folks, like Toey, loves coming on, interacting with us, but her stream, her Twitch channel is more family friendly than ours. So on a show like this, I don't want her hosting us,
which is
and upsetting her audience. That's all. Other shows they can't.
Yeah. Well, I just want to explain her channel a little bit. You know how earlier we were telling you about Twitch was mainly, it started for gaming?
Yeah.
Well, that's what she does. And she does like fishing simulation and farming simulation.
Oh, right.
It's great. Yeah.
There is a place online called Tabletopia where you can go download board games or play them online with other people. And we're going to do this one day with her and play Parcheesi or Settlers of
I've never
Catan
played
or
Parcheesi.
I have. It's like Trouble. It's like the original Trouble. Trouble is the poor man's version, yeah.
I have Batman Trouble.
You have Batman Trouble.
Damn it, there he is again. Get off my lawn! Fucking Batman Trouble.
I see him.
Do you want to elaborate?
It's a Batman version of the game.
Batman Trouble. I thought you meant...
I know.
Let's not go there.
Ooh, Toey, I like it. Okay, now, Richard, we decided, yes, we like steampunk, but we're not necessarily steampunk. We just had a lot to do with community. Now, we don't want to go into diesel punk or atomic punk, but we love 20s and 30s. So we wanted to create our own little punk. So we had the thought, okay, we could do speakeasy punk. Nah, way too many words. It's clumsy. What about gangsta punk? No, it means too many different things. So we decided we're going to call it gin punk.
Gin punk. I was just about to suggest gin joint punk, but gin punk, you've got it.
Yeah. So it's
Gin punk.
That would be great. Toei just said we can play the Moonshine card game in gin punk attire.
Yes.
Absolutely.
During Gin Punk Week.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. We have a Gin Punk Week coming up where we're going to talk about
We started this, so you're in the know now. You know all this.
Want to be part of Gin Punk?
Hey, who wouldn't?
You're British. You like gin.
Who wouldn't want to try that? Yeah, it's pretty much the British national drink other than tea.
Elizabeth, thank you so much. I'm glad you liked it. It was a fun little video put together, and yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more. Elizabeth, again, being one of the co-hosts, just watched the host video that they haven't seen yet, they being the other co-hosts. So, and there's a cat. Okay, what were we doing?
Gin Punk.
Gin Punk Week game stuff.
No, before that, we had the naming the thing, and before that, we had something we were going to go into when we got back. Hold on, I have notes
Maybe
here.
Another song he did?
I think we'll save that for another 10 minutes. Do it after 20 after. So let's see. We covered this. Did we finish the Strongman origin story? Did we
were in it.
That? Do you need complete, or should we move on?
I think we can move on from the origin story.
Okay. I have 4 things here on my list, which I could just read them off. We can see what's good.
Okay, Elizabeth, don't put the explanation at the end of disco.
Just on the front.
And then it'll dance, yeah.
Just like it says next to the kitty there. Thank you, Des. Good to see you.
Hey, Des.
Back with pure salt.
See, everybody's coming in now.
Okay. Now, here's the list of topics I had for us to discuss. Depression.
Yeah.
Dicks. UK versus US, or prolapsed rectum finger puppets.
Dear God.
So you can see we have a variety of topics. Or we could go on with your origin story as a strong. No,
I was not ready for that.
With the origin story, do you just do cock blocker and nasal nail nose?
So far, it's just a nail in the head, which is traditionally known as the blockhead, the human blockhead. Addington, Aldrich's unliftable barbell, which we showed you before the break, and the cock blocker.
Okay, so we've got blockhead, cock blocker, and then.
Oh well, we have
balls.
New people in, so you need to explain the cock blocker again.
The cock blocker. One assumes the supine position on the ground, kind of sat with your legs apart, and take a concrete block about so thick and maybe 2 feet long and a foot wide, and lay it on the cock, as you say, and then have your burly assistant come and smash it with a sledgehammer.
There you go.
And
so
it's not as painful as it sounds, but it is pretty painful.
Have you ever been approached by a woman after you did that who was just in awe and like, we need to get together?
I've never been approached in that way, but I have had several interested parties, let's put it like that.
In particular after that, not like just over your lifespan.
In particularly after that, yeah. They are interested in what the trick is, and really there is no trick. It just fucking hurts. You just try not to show it.
It's by trick I thought you just meant it was a hooker who wanted to turn one.
He's not talking about you right now, Travis.
That's right. Well, speaking of lovely assistants, where is your lovely wife Angela today?
My lovely wife, she is at work today. She is a nurse. She is a registered nurse, and she does home health visits to people who've been released from hospital but are still. She does wound care pretty much.
Very nice.
People who've had, abdominal surgery, have got a big open wound in their abdomen. She'll go and help them out with that. And
well, do tell her we said hello and that we missed her.
Oh, of course.
For the viewers, both Richard and Angela have been really supportive with my writing. In some cases, beta reading books. Or commenting, giving me feedback, etc., as well as dropping reviews and whatnot. So I really appreciate that side of things, too. Hold on, the cat is attacking my pen. I'm trying to get it on camera. There we go. Did you guys?
My wife is also the inspiration for one of Dave Lee's characters in his book. The character Agatha Foggybottom, a knife-wielding Irish nurse, is based upon my wife.
I do remember that. I haven't read that in a long time.
To know. Yeah, that was a good book. I enjoyed that book. Hard to believe it was his first book. Because it really was good.
That has been a while, hasn't
it? Has he had it re-edited yet?
You'd have to ask him. I believe somebody's given it a once-over.
It was good, but it just needed a little cleaning, a little bit of editorial help, and
Travis does that with his books every so often.
Yeah.
Yeah, when somebody's like, "You've got a ton of mistakes," I'm like, "What? I've paid editor." What was that noise?
You had a ding.
I heard a ding.
Somebody dinged you. Could have been me.
Oh,
it's probably you.
I'm sorry. I had the train station list up on my bat phone and forgot to turn it off. Here we go.
She is wanting love today, so I've got to give it to her.
Oh,
look at her, just leaning into it.
She cute.
Whenever I use the Clorox cleaning stuff with bleach, she gets very happy.
Wow.
And I used that this morning, and now she loves everyone.
Clorox is
what do you use it for?
Cleaning.
What do you use it for?
To clean. I wipe the counters with it, and then she rubs her face on it, and she just gets high. I don't know.
She just likes the smell.
She does. It's weird.
Yeah, it's her catnip. Okay, so let's see here. I think we covered that. Now, everybody in the third hour, Richard will be placing things in his nasal passage. Will you be using a hammer, or you just be jamming things up there?
I'm just going to be jamming things up there. I'll just be sliding things in there.
Do you have a pickle jar? Is that a viable way to open a pickle jar that's a little tight?
With your nose?
How do you mean?
By shoving it in your nose and twisting. Don't go back there, Cat.
You can try.
Oh, God.
You could give it a shot, Travis.
Well, okay, next time we get together, you have your nose with you?
Next time we get together, I have my nose in a pickle jar.
Oh, you know
we'll give it a whirl.
Everybody watching has kind of been over to the house at some point in time, sort of. Hey, I don't think you guys were here earlier when we were talking about having a blended drink party in the middle of summer where we all come out in short
margarita party.
Margaritas, daiquiris, and pina coladas. And just curious if any of you guys would want to stop by, because we've had Elizabeth here and we've had Des here, and Toei knows us well enough, but I don't believe has been to the house yet.
I think she did when you guys were doing the game.
Might have been. I think so. Oh, who knows?
Oh, yes, she was, because she came over to do, we did photo shoots
for the photo shoot. That's right. That's right. So they've all been here. There we go.
Sounds a good idea.
With drinks.
We'll have your people talk to our people.
It'd just be one of those things. We throw out a random date, give everybody 3 weeks notice, and whoever shows up
shows up.
And if it's Andrea and I, then Andrea and I have drinks.
Mm-hmm.
We do that. We have a party. We just invite people if they show up. Cool.
Maybe plan it.
Otherwise, it still goes on.
Maybe plan it for August as an end of the summer thing, where it's just really sweltering. But we have a bunch of fans, and we'll set them all up, and be a good summer sweat party. Sounds weird.
And see, we have one kind of planned for July where we all meet up at the drive-in theater. Mm-hmm. Isn't that July?
It is.
Oh, you have a drive-in up there, do you?
Well, it's the other side of Richmond. So it's an hour 15 one way for us, but you get two movies for $8.50 per person. Great food.
I agree with that.
Sometimes 3 movies.
Yes, sometimes in the summer, since you have the extra time.
Elizabeth said she'll bring the cannoli.
Nice.
Just the one?
Just the one.
That's all. Everybody's got to share the cannoli. So there you go.
Yeah, Bob's not here today.
Yeah, where is Bob?
We have a regular, and he likes
we have more
for
than
people
one.
to say cannoli. Well, we have one that likes, just one in particular, that likes everyone to say cannoli.
Cannoli.
Like a cow in a field. That's how he likes it. Cannoli.
Oh, that's funny.
Who knew that's what they were asking for pastries all these years?
Yeah.
Yes, and Elizabeth says, not enough cannoli. Oh, no, cannoli and for all, especially Andrea.
Yay!
Ooh.
Elizabeth is gonna let you eat
I
her cannoli. What?
I want some of the pastries from that bakery in Little Italy that you posted pictures of.
Yeah. See, Elizabeth is doing the equivalent of what we do. Richard, we have people come to us going, oh, I saw your video, I saw your picture, I wish I could do what you're doing, which we tell them the secret of, then do it, which is how you do these things. You just go do it. But
it doesn't
Elizabeth,
just happen.
Being in New York City, has done videos for our little refill break videos of her in front of Radio City Music Hall, in Times Square, in front of Shakespeare.
Yeah, when you watch that, you'll see it.
On the subway with weirdos drinking or not so weirdos, or people yelling at their kids, I don't want you playing on the train. And it's great. It's great. So, you know, when you get something from Chinatown or Little Italy or whatever, and here's these iconic places we've all seen in movies or heard about, and there's Elizabeth standing in the middle of it, shouting about Talk of the Tavern as the crowd just streams past her.
Well, and it's great because she has such a long commute for work, because she travels everywhere, and she makes the best of it, and we get to see it. It's awesome.
That's very
we get to see the best parts. We see like the 18 seconds that are cool in the 2-hour commute. So for us, it's all very amazing. We're like, wow, what an exciting life.
You don't see the 2 hours fending off the drug addicts and all the rest of it.
There is one video where she's in Times Square doing a video of herself, and a black guy comes up behind her. He's obviously a little not right, and he leans over her shoulder onto her and, you know, does a little peace sign, and she's like, she thought she knew him. She's like, hey, baby, turns back to the camera and then realizes, I don't know this guy. And it's in the video. It's in one of the videos that we've got, where she's like, I don't know this son of a bitch, and she runs away laughing. It's but yeah, if we do the ice drink party, we will give a list of everybody needs to bring, you know, a cooler with a bag of ice, some kind of lunch meat, chip, etc. You know, yeah, we'll do all that because
bail money.
Well, you know, also maybe a pina colada. Pick one mix, one bottle of liquor, and one bag of ice, and so on.
What? One pickle?
Sounds good.
One pickle, one lady.
One pickle. Yeah.
What?
One pickle, one lady, one beer. That's one of our shows.
It is. So, Richard, how long have you lived in the U.S.?
14 years now. Coming
Legally,
on 15 years.
Like just one of those immigrants? I won't tell you. You could tell me.
I am a legal immigrant.
Oh, okay.
I did it the expensive and extraordinarily bureaucratic way.
So you slept with how many politicians to get where you're at today?
All of them.
Well, perhaps
at
slept
least
not, but they fucked you. One way or the other.
And they're still doing it.
Welcome to America.
What?
Metaphorically, they're still doing it.
Indeed.
What brought you out here?
Well, my wife is she was born in Kansas, and she got a job in a hospital in London, a big cardiac hospital.
It's a decent community.
And yeah, a decent community. Yeah. The food was shit, but plenty of time to read the newspaper.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I met her while she was living in London, and she wanted to come back here, and I wanted to stay there, and she didn't speak to me for 3 weeks, and over we came.
How long?
Here I am. How long ago? That was it. We came over in 2004.
Oh, okay, so you've been together 14 years, 15 years.
Yeah, 14, 15 years, yeah.
Well done.
I actually met her in 2001.
Okay.
So,
But then you just like stalked her and followed her till 2003 when you introduced yourself.
Pretty much. Okay. Pretty much. Yeah. Once I found the right cocktail to make her meek but not asleep. You got to tune the drugs right, and then you're good to go.
And I'm guessing you didn't do this against her will. She's like, "Oh no, I'm going to need to be partially unconscious if we're going to do this."
Well, she wanted to be fully unconscious, but that turned out to be no fun.
That's right. Consent is everything, folks.
Mm-hmm. Call it the Cosby maneuver.
Put and pop. Hold on, I gotta light my pipe. Talk amongst yourselves.
Go right ahead.
Light
so yeah, we got married in 2004, and here we are. We've lived in Yorktown for a bit, and moved up to Gloucester in 2006, and been here ever since.
What do you do for a living? Can I ask that?
Yeah, I'm an MRI tech.
Oh, nice. So like part of the job is like free MRIs?
Unfortunately not, no. No, they won't let us get in it. Unless they want to try out a new experimental procedure which could, conceivably turn you into a cancer-ridden pulp, in which case they're more than happy to let you get in the magnet.
I feel like that'd be a good episode for Talk of the Tavern.
The cancer-ridden pulp episode?
No, creating one, not after the fact. That's boring. The mad scientist comic book origin story. We could have our own Deadpool. Stress on the first syllable. So, can MRIs cause cancer?
No. I was kidding. There's no radiation with an MRI. It's one of the big benefits of it is, as far as we know, there's no adverse side effect.
No.
We can do men, females, young, children. I've personally MRI'd pregnant females.
Now, here's what I would say. MRI, first of all, for anybody that doesn't know, stands for magnetic resonance.
Imaging.
Imaging. Yeah, imaging. I'm like, idiot. No, that's not it. So here's what I'm going to say. I bet there is a subtle side effect that science hasn't discovered yet, because the human body does put out an electromagnetic field as we are generating energy. So I'm guessing there's something somewhere, which I'm not even going to say it's detrimental. I'm just going to say it's interacting with our field. If you have it many times, there's a potential something.
I'm sure it does something to you. I mean, it physically realigns the hydrogen atoms in your body.
That's really...
It lines them all up, gets them all rotating the same way.
What's that do?
As far as it didn't do anything for you, but what it does, how can I explain it? It's very difficult to explain. I've worked with it since 2009, and I still struggle to explain exactly how it works. The magnet lines all the atoms up in your body, all the hydrogen atoms, and then a big radio transmitter called a coil fires a radio pulse in, knocks them all out of alignment, and then the current that is induced when they come remove back into alignment is what gives the image.
That's the pulse. That would be the electromagnetic field of the human body, and we're reading that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what you're reading.
That is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Who the hell figured that one out, and what were they drinking when they did?
Some extremely smart guy in the 50s came up with it. It wasn't until the 80s that they were really able to use it in medicine.
Huh. Before then, he's just like, you got a dog or a cat that you don't like?
Or a sister. You got a sister you don't like. Yeah, it's quite a thing. It's quite a concept.
What do you got? Oh, you got a Zazzle now, Andrea. You were saying there, Richard.
You were saying about the effect on the human body. MRI machines aren't used for this, but there is a new treatment for depression, which is pretty much they put a magnet on your head and leave it there. and it's supposed to, for the short term at least, really alleviate the symptoms of depression.
Really?
So do they just sit it there, or is it surgery to put it in there?
No, they just sit it. They just sit it there.
For how long?
Like a hat?
5 minutes?
Yeah, it comes on a little hat.
Oh.
Yeah, you go through a series of treatments. I've not had it, but I've read about it.
You know what?
You just sit there with this magnet on your head, and it really alleviates depression.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't work. But what I am saying, this sounds like those magnetic bracelets that you put on that are supposed to help with arthritis and everything. Thoughts?
You know, I've worked in the medical field for a while, and Western medicine is a wonderful thing. But the idea behind medical treatment is not, at the end of the day, it's an improvement in function and somebody's lifestyle. What they can do, who they can communicate with, where they can go. So, on the one hand, I'm a great believer in if a medicine or a treatment has been proven to work by scientific explanation, then please go do it if you choose to. But when it comes to things like Tai Chi and crystal therapy, if going through the crystal therapy improves your state of mind, makes somebody who's sick happier, makes them able to cope better, then on one level you can consider that a successful treatment.
Correct. Well, the placebo effect is a very viable, workable scientific answer.
Exactly.
Because we did a whole show Monday on positive and negative energy and how just thinking a certain way can influence your environment and everything around you. And a placebo effect, definitely. And by the way, Toei says, I sell tons of those magnetic rings on Amazon. Toei, what I'm curious about is, have you tried one? Do you think they work? Because scientifically, there's no evidence to back it up. But again, placebo effect has value.
Rings? See, I didn't know there were rings. I've heard of bracelets and the shoe inserts, but I've never heard of the rings.
By the way,
so
Richard, do you sing on the Disturbed Ramones song?
Yeah.
I want to play that. I want to play that one next. So in a minute here, so I'd like to play.
You mean the I Wanna Be Sedated mashup?
That would be it.
Yeah, that's me. That's Dave and myself.
I don't have any of the conditions that are supposed to help, so I can't say one way or the other. Okay, thanks, Toei. But yeah, it's, and also, how does science prove something works? By trying it over and over again. So whether it works or not, if science hasn't got their claws into it yet, there's just not backing of, is it valid or is it hoo-ha? It's which is slang for vagina. I'd like some slang for vagina.
The ultimate cure for everything.
It is.
But
I've
seriously,
jokes. Go on.
You're right in what you say. It's a difference in the way you evaluate a treatment. If you evaluate it by, is there any physical or chemical change or metabolic change in a disease or a process, there may not be, or it may not be readable. If you consider a treatment to be, does it improve somebody's quality of life, then that brings into play that all sorts of things can be considered a medical treatment.
Correct.
I mean, a therapy dog. How can science prove that having a therapy dog will improve the life of a PTSD victim?
Right. It just
there's no measurable scientific method to do it yet.
Correct.
You can see it with your own eyes.
See, that was mentioned Monday also, where we were talking about how do you bring positive energy into your life, and at one point I mentioned my cats. They make me smile every day. They make me laugh. They give me affection and support. This creates a positive attitude in me and helps me when I'm having a crap-ass day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these things are viable, but if you can't put it in a lab and reproduce it with multiple people multiple times, then it's not something you could sell on a show. Well, there's nothing.
You can sell anything.
Yeah, that's true. I
you
was
can sell anything.
Backing out of that statement and going to edit it a bit, but okay. Hey, shall we play Disturbed Ramones real quick?
Hey, why not? Who wouldn't want to hear that?
By the way, if anybody needs to top off their coffee, I don't think Richard's going to be upset if you jump up, Andrea, and get your coffee during the song.
Go right
I had
ahead.
to let the cat out.
I saw you. Yeah. Okay, here's this. We're going to dance along.
Dum 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 dum. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down. Type 4. Dum, 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 dum.
God, I'd forgotten all about this.
Good times, huh? Hold on. Let me get rolling here.
Dum, 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 dum. Wah, dum, 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 dum. Wah, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your head and let it flow into me. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You mother, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Madness is the gift that has been given to me. Oh, I can feel that the sickness is rising, and everything good has died. Oh no, the world is a scary place. Now you've awoken the demons inside. 20, 24 hours to go. I want to be sedated. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. I want to be sedated. Just get me to the airport and get me on a plane. Hurry, hurry, hurry before I go insane. I can't control my fingers, I can't control my brain. Oh no, 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 no. 20, 24 hours to go. I want to be sedated. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. I want to be sedated. Just get me to the airport and put me on a plane. Hurry, hurry, hurry before I go insane. I can't control my fingers, I can't control my brain. Oh no, 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 no. Ba, 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 ba. I want to be sedated. Ba, 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 ba. I want to be sedated.
Now, let me just say, and this is in all honesty, when you and Dave did this, I was a bit envious of you guys.
Really?
Yes. Now, and by the way, everybody, hello, Kennedy. I'm going to get to your guys' comments in just a second. Bear with me here.
I just want to ask, is this a song that Angela requested when you made her a drink?
So she requested several things when I made her drink, but she can't remember any of them, fortunately.
Film proves nothing. So now I love to sing. I love barbershop quartets. I am not good at either. By the way, I feel like this song needs redone with just a little cleaner background and adding one of those like slightly out of tune Old West plinking pianos to it, or maybe one of those
sticky old bar piano. Yep.
And
I feel like there needs to be a music video of this.
An accordion. It needs a child's toy piano and an accordion to it, and you need me down there doing your bass line for you the whole time.
We do. One of the things we struggled with is that the idea was to do a barbershop style quartet or quintet thing. But of course, if you're going to have a quartet, you need 4 people. We couldn't find 2 idiots stupid enough to do it with us.
I am that stupid.
So, yeah, well, we didn't know that at the time, Travis. You hadn't revealed your the true depths of your stupidity at that point.
You do it again, and I'll record it, and he'll sing with you.
Yeah, so, we could do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, and then we can reach out to the music community and go, look, we need to send somebody the raw track, and then we need them to just do a backing track of accordion to it.
Yeah. Somebody got to do that.
I know somebody who plays accordion.
Is it
Egress?
I know, but they're too busy. By the way, comments now. Toei said, I'm waiting for the bass drop. Then asked, is Blitzkrieg Bop in this medley? And
no, but it should be.
Yeah. See, it could be expanded. It definitely could be expanded.
Also, Beat on the Brat. Favorite Ramones song.
Now you're talking. Beat on the Brat. We weren't concentrating on the Ramones when we came up with the idea, but who knew that the Ramones would lend themselves so well to Victorian barbershop style?
Mm-hmm.
Who knew?
Who has a small toy piano? The ones that go ding, 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 ding. You know, they sound horrible, because that would be wonderful for this.
Thrift store.
Yeah. And I feel like now.
I'm sure Dave has one somewhere that he's steampunked.
He's probably attached to a piece of armor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say he probably wears it, turn it into a jetpack.
It's in his one-man band outfit. By the way, Kennedy says, I saw the Ramones at Hofstra in about 1985, and Tony saw the Ramones about that time also in Phoenix. So well done there.
I believe there's only one of them left.
It could be. We should have him on the show.
We can find him. He'd be horrified in what I did to his song.
Or thrilled. I mean, quite possibly thrilled. Who thought you would have this much positive reaction from this song? You know.
I love it.
You know.
I have to say, when I first recorded it, I was like, please, with a bit of luck, this will never make it to the studio.
Oh, now it's international.
My God.
And I have 4 others, which we're probably not going to get to all of them, because I'm kind of pulling them up as we have a moment. And now, keep in mind, if you have any of these that you want me to play, we got Baby Got Back, Cat Scratch Fever, Gin and Juice, which I think is all Dave. I think Gin and Juice is all Dave. And then Innocent. So I'd rather focus on the ones that you were at least part of at some point. So
I think I'm on Gin and Juice. I know I'm on Baby Got Back.
Okay, well, let me just move those up the list.
All right.
Yeah, Gin and Juice, Baby Got Back. So Cat Scratch Fever and Innocent, you are not part of?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not on those.
Well, that makes that easier. Let me just take them out of the list.
There you go.
Not that there's anything wrong with Dave Lee and his singing and whatnot. Just you're here, he's not. So you the man.
Or he needs to be here for when they're played.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's, okay. So so I played that one for a few reasons, because we mentioned depression and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, down below, beneath the video, guys, you'll see a list of my books. In there is a couple free books, including 27 Thoughts on Enjoying Life, which is one of the books that Richard and Angela read before I published, because I was very aware of I wanted people to give me feedback on this, whether they had suffered from depression and considered suicide or not. And in this case, Richard and Angela went, we'll read it, and gave me some great feedback and a lot of positive support on it. So
yeah, we're glad to do it.
We also covered this topic a little bit Monday with the positive energy, because I find depression is not I go from here to here like falling off a cliff. It is a cycle and a spiral where you get caught in a loop and work your way down.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of stopping that descent and hopefully reversing it. That's my intake. Not that you can't
And sometimes it's hard to recognize the signs in yourself to stop that downward spiral. So.
And with enough practice, you can go from A to Z in one drop. But it takes repetition of the spiral before you can flip a switch and go from pew, boom.
Very much so. very much so.
And I don't have any direction going with this conversation, just bringing up in general in case there's something here to chit-chat about.
Well, you mentioned the fact that it's difficult to spot the signs in yourself. Sufferers do they suspect that something may be wrong. But because it's such a, like you say, it's not an acute reaction. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a very chronic condition. It takes a lot of time to go through each stage. And the changes over time are very subtle. The sufferer doesn't really have an objective view. They're in the middle of it. So they don't really have a reference point.
They're in the eye of the storm till you get
They're in the eye of the
bottom,
storm.
and then you're in the middle of it.
Then you suddenly realise how bad it is. But it's not something you notice straight away. No. It's very much a subjective feeling. Sometimes you need to be told. Somebody else will notice it long before you do.
And then there's a problem of once you've been told, so if you can keep in mind what you were told and watch for that again, watch what you're told, you can recognize your own pattern, your own triggers, your own whatever that creates this. And by the way, if you're having a bad day, I've said this before, have a bad day. Go ahead. You're allowed. Just don't let yourself keep going. Find a way to slow and reverse it. By the way, Kennedy says, I almost never was depressed until a couple of years ago, and when it happened, I was totally unprepared for it. Kennedy, I have a thought on this. There was one show we covered, a news article about depression, and that it spiked starting right around 2012, which, by the way, is when we started live on air. We are not in this equation. It's not our fault. I'm going with that. But this is also when smartphones suddenly became huge and every teenager started getting one. We passed the 40% mark and now we're up to like 90% of teens have.
Yeah.
And the possible correlation with that of, this is something that makes us feel like we're connecting, but it's a false connection with other people.
And it makes the disconnection with bullying and stuff like that more possible, and that affects a lot of kids nowadays too.
Yes, it does.
And adults.
Yes, it does. I think the effect is there's two sides to the effect of it. On the one hand, people that find it easier to communicate with strangers, not necessarily to connect with them on any emotional level. Yeah. On the other hand, the fact that you're doing so much non-verbal communication through text and all the rest of it, and I'm at least as guilty as this as anybody else, is you can text somebody something or make a reply on somebody's Facebook post that you would never dream of doing face to face or even over a telephone conversation. But because it's the disconnect, you're communicating through a medium that completely separates you from that person. All the filters are off.
And also, the intention behind your statement may not always be conveyed the way you want it to.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Does not translate. See, I'm the opposite. I am more filtered online because in person, I can read your body language. I can tell if I can push this a little further, say something a little less appropriate or off the wall. And also, you could see my face, so when I say it, even if it's with a perfectly straight, serious face, you see that little look afterwards that says, I'm fucking with you.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you do. Some people never, they just don't read body language well or expression well, and they still don't get it. But now, I want to shift gears here. If nobody else has anything else to add to this at the moment. Okay.
Go right ahead.
Toei says, that's why I hate the phone, because I don't get any of the visual cues. Toei, I agree, but for me, the phone is better than typing to somebody. Because it's at least...
Because you get tone.
Something, yeah.
At least you get tone.
Yeah.
With typing, you get all of the message and none of the nuance.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Skype,
Exactly.
a little better. Face-to-face is always the best. Toby says, at least with text, people can throw an email, so I know the tone. It's hard to do that in business emails, though. It's not hard to do it. It's bad to do. So, UK to US, this is what we started on before, when I asked, how long you've been here, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
What do you miss most about the UK?
Well, I've got to be honest with you. I don't want to say the UK is a bad place, but I'm a firm believer that if there's so much that you miss from back home, then maybe you need to be at home. Obviously, I miss my family. My mother still lives there.
Which you said I'd like her.
Oh, yeah, you'd like my mother.
So on our next visit, should I, especially if we somehow miraculously can go over there together, we should make a dinner date and have all of us.
Absolutely.
You just got to clue me in, like, no, Travis, don't talk. It'd be better that way.
Yeah, don't set her off, please.
Oh, what sets her off? Because if it's entertaining to see her go on a rant, there is nothing more genuine than an older person's rant. Because 20-year-old rants, you're like, you don't know. 40-year-old rants, you go, you're a little bitter. Old person rants, you're like, keep going, I'm learning shit.
Yeah. They've got 60, 70, 80 years of rage built up.
Mm-hmm. Andrew?
So, okay, I understand that if you really miss a place too much, you should go back. But is there something that you can get there that you can't get here that you miss? Like, is it chocolate or a food or
usually food is what people say they miss most.
Yeah.
There are several foods you can get in Britain that I miss. I miss pork pies. Pork pies is like a great big hard ball of scrapple encased in the greasiest pastry you can possibly imagine.
Oh, God.
With extra salt.
I mean, with extra salt. And it even comes, if you break them open, or you cut them down the middle.
They're like a Hot Pocket. They're like a little, not cannoli, calzone, but with...
Yeah, like a little calzone.
Yeah.
You get the hard, yeah, pretty much like Spam. It's like a hard pastry case, really hard. Inside that is a layer of gelatin, which is just the liquidized fat that's soaked out the meat. And inside that is this ball of, who knows what it is, lips and asses and snout and
Let me recommend something for you.
What you miss?
Yeah, they're lovely.
Now, this is not going to be exactly like what you're talking about, but it'll be a parallel. There are Jamaican meat pies in your freezer section.
Yeah.
And they have spicy and they have regular, and I love the damn things. Have you ever tried these?
Oh, yeah, I love them. They're kind of a alarming kind of yellow color.
They are. Like they put too much curry powder in them.
Yeah, magnificent.
Yeah. It's like I said, I know they're not what you're talking about, but they're a parallel. They're a comparable in concept.
Yeah, same kind of thing. Just
they're good with just a little dash of hot sauce, nibble, a little dash of hot sauce.
That's the one.
I'm sorry I asked this question.
Oh, English traditional British food is poor people's food, working people's food. And some of it is pretty good.
Yeah,
you think the pork pies would be a fucking hit in the U.S. It is fatty, it is greasy, it is fried. Well, it's not fried, it's actually baked, but it feels fried with all the grease in it.
Well, here's the thing. I've never had one. I would try it. I probably wouldn't look at it when I tried it, but I would try it.
I would too.
Oh, you'd like it. Very few people try one and don't like it. It's everything you can imagine.
It's like Southern cooking, but British. In that Southern cooking, you go, you cooked what? And then you eat it, you're like,
yep.
I kind of like it, damn it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try it. So when we go back, I'll have to try that.
Oh, yeah. Southern cooking has got some parallels with British food. Chitlins, for one thing. My grandmother used to cook chitlins.
Really?
I never got a taste for them. I wouldn't ask for them, but I'd eat them.
I've had it one time. Now, my rule about certain foods, like chitlins, or other similar type comfort foods, I want it cooked by somebody's grandmother, as opposed to at a restaurant or by...
Oh, yeah, it's not the same at a restaurant.
Yeah, somebody's grandmother knows those old tricks or keeps it simple or whatever it is, it's just a little better. It's made with love. I don't know.
Yeah. You don't want to eat chitlins cooked in sesame oil with asahi berry extract. You want it boiled in pig fat.
Okay, so I'd like to hear your
Pretty
take on
much.
the American Thanksgiving. But before I do that, in the 80s, my mother didn't cook very much, but she would cook Thanksgiving. And in the 80s, she got into, here's our turkey, but I'm going to make this special stuffing. And she started putting nuts in it and cranberries and wine sauce.
What is that?
And I'm like, this is not what I thought it wanted.
Just so you know, it is 5 till.
Mm-hmm. Do we need a refill break, guys?
Well,
Yeah, let's go for a refill break.
Richard, are you able
See,
to stay
time
with us the
flies.
third hour?
Yeah, I can stay.
Then when we get back, we can talk about more about the UK versus US or other countries you visited. Elizabeth needs a refill break. We could talk about dicks, and then we can also talk about some of these jobs if we need more content.
And then he can shove stuff in his face.
Then I can shove. You just want me to shove the stuff in the face and then cut me off, don't you?
We're done quick. Okay. See, and
I'll be happy.
Plowman.
I'll be happy to go for another hour.
Okay, here we go. We're going to go on our break. We'll be back in a minute, guys.
All right.
Oh, we got to come down here, and there we go. Now, do you want to do it all?
All right.
Okay.
Okay, it helps when you say, "Hey, Elizabeth, do it all in one continuum."
I wasn't sure.
This is what you should be recording.
We are.
Oh.
Talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome.
So, look at that. So, where do you think they're telling him to store his crayons?
I don't know. I just want to get stoned.
Hey, Elizabeth, you're a movie maker, right?
I am.
Turn around, because I want to star your ass.
Oh.
I don't know.
No. I am the eyes in the sky, looking at you.
Pregnancy notes. Don't do that again. You know, I don't know where we're going to find that many baby amputees.
And I told my college roommate, Streak Ray.
Oh, yes, they call him the Streak.
Whee! Somebody asked me if I know what the Coast Essentials are, and I was like, sure.
Soft whisper.
I got his Visa card. Do you know Bobby's PIN? Utterly smooth.
Extra body.
I got a super look.
Volumizer!
Suck it to me.
So hot tea is getting more and more specialized as it grows in popularity. For example, here's one for healthy skin. Now check this out. Smooth Move for occasional constipation. Everyday detox for those of you hooked on meth. There's no joke in this one. This one is totally serious. Okay, we got mint. They've been around. Peanut butter. Red velvet. Hot and spicy cinnamon. Sorry. Got a cookie butter. Cinnamon bun Oreo. Chocolate hazelnut. Lemon. What else we got here? Come on, Oreo. Stop it already. You're getting ridiculous. Oh, there's birthday cake. Right up there. Look at this strange exotic poodle. Let's find out more about him. Oh my god, that's one fucked up poodle. And for the tramps in your life, not that I'm judging, I love me a good little tramp. But here's the open leg pant. And it's cheap too. Want to see some really shitty games? Here's Toilet Trouble, Doggy Doo, and Don't Step in It. My favorite part, just so you know, Doggy Doo is a choking hazard. Don't choke on the Doggy Doo, because then you'll be in toilet trouble. Did I just step in it? Look, 15 burpees? No, it's sport days. You know what I really like? If I'm a cattle rustler, I like 15 calf races. If I live in the city, I steal 25 bicycles. If I'm a whore, I get 15 crab walks. But know what I really like? 15 butt kicks. Kick ass. It's all in how you say things. Suave kids. Purely fun. No tears. No die. Big. Okay, and we're back. Quick thing. Bob, good to see you, buddy. We've got another.
I was going to say, Bob's finally here.
Yeah. And before we bailed, Elizabeth said, I love the plowman's lunch. Now, I'm guessing that's a sexual move, but is it something else also?
The plowman's lunch, it's pretty much an extremely hearty salad. Oh. You get a slice of pork pie. Well, you do these days. But traditionally, a plowman's lunch is a tomato and a pickled onion and a piece of cheese, maybe a slice of beef or pork. Just meat and fresh vegetables. Very nice. Something that a plowman could carry. Just a nice, hearty, healthy meal. A lot of pubs serve it.
You know, real quick, I totally lost my train of thought. So real quick is going to stretch out here as I try to figure out what the hell I was about to say. We're in the third hour, but third hour we actually get inappropriate. So if what we did before wasn't inappropriate, now we can. And also, I just realized, Richard, if you send me selfies, that means I'm getting a dick pic.
Dick pics. Oh my god.
This is great. Which, by the way, we have our guests, our friends, our viewers send us short video clips of them going, like Kennedy, who was typing earlier, did one of him in front of two crossroads, Broad and Beaver, in the middle of New York City. And but usually they say, I'm getting toasted at Talk of the Tavern, or you're watching Talk of the Tavern, or whatever. Just mention Talk of the Tavern, basically, is what it boils down to.
That's what I was in the middle of saying when we started the show, and the music came on, and I stopped. But when you do your strongman act, when you're in your full thing, maybe a nail in your have a nail and hammer in hand or something, say you're getting toasted on Talk of the Tavern.
With a nail stuck in your nasal passage and go, this is
if you could talk like that.
And I'm getting toasted at Talk of the Tavern. Can you talk with a nail in your nose?
Oh, yeah, you can talk with a nail in your nose.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you could be part of the refill break, the video.
Yeah, I could do that.
What I'd ask, in your regular street clothes, come on and do me a quick video. Just grab your cell phone, turn it to selfie video, and this is Richard Knowles sending you a quick dick pic on Talk of the Tavern. Because that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You want me to do it now?
Well, you can do it now if you want to. Just don't use your webcam is not high enough quality. I don't want that quality. I want a better quality.
Use your phone.
Yeah, use your phone. It's I'm guessing most people's cell phones are better quality than most webcams nowadays.
Mine is.
Ironic.
Unless you have a flip phone.
Well, let me fire up old Sparky here, my trusty Samsung Galaxy S5.
No, do you want to do it once you have a nail in your nose?
Oh my god.
Or now, or both.
Yeah, if you like.
However you like.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
I don't want to pressure you.
The pressure. Oh my goodness. That'll be pressure with the nail.
Well, he could do the screwdriver now, and then when he's in his strongman outfit as Paddington, do another one.
I have a dedicated nail that I always use, and I can't find it at the moment.
You know what? You need to do that as Paddington, and just put, start it out with the nail in your nose, and give 2-3 seconds for people to realize you got a fucking nail in your nose, and then go, I nailed it on Talk of the Tavern.
Oh god.
Or I'm getting toasted on Talk of the Tavern. Nailed it.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me send you a quick dick pic. Come on, you piece of shit. Excuse me.
See, we're in the third hour. It's
like
okay.
I said, we even let our Brits use the C word. Yeah, we don't mind. We're good.
Alrighty.
Okay, here we go. Do landscape. Turn your phone sideways for us.
Hi, this is Richard. I am sending you a dick pic on Talk of the Tavern Radio. Now I've got to figure out how to send it.
Just go to Facebook. Go to Facebook Messenger on your phone, and then click Add Picture. But your video should be in that list also.
All right.
So anyhow, what other countries have you visited?
I've visited a number of countries. I spent a year on Australia.
Really?
Spent a year on Australia. Yeah, back in the early 90s, I went to Australia to find myself.
They love Americans, from what I hear in Australia. How do they feel about Brits?
They like us. The prisoner legacy is still pretty strong. We used to send prisoners to Australia as a punishment.
Right. As well as Georgia here in the U.S. That was a penal colony.
Yeah, it was a penal colony. I'm wondering how long it took them to figure out that the east coast of Australia was in fact about as close to paradise as you were ever going to get. And stop sending them. Give me 1 second.
If we wait, maybe he'll sing for us.
I could put a song on while you're doing this.
I'm
gonna put on Gin and Juice. Are you ready? Or should I play a song real quick?
I think I've done it. I think I did it. Did you just get something on your message?
Give me a second. Let me take a peek here. Not yet, but sometimes it takes a second to go through. So
it has to go through all the air.
It does. So you probably
Kennedy's back.
All right. But I spent a year in Australia. Loved it. Hot as shit. You think it's hot over here? It's brutal in Australia, and it's dry heat as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, a lot of people say dry heat is better than the humidity.
It is. If you have a bad
that fierce. Yeah. The heat over there is so fierce, and the sun is almost inescapable.
But still paradise, huh?
But it's still the coast is beautiful. The interior, well, I mean, you've seen Mad Max. Probably 75% of the interior is like the scene of a Mad Max movie.
Wow.
It's just hot and rock and sand, and the distances involved in travel is one of the few countries on Earth where there are gaps between gas stations where you will not make it unless you take an extra few jerry cans of gas.
At one point in time in my early 20s, I had actually started to arrange to go to Australia and hitchhike across the country. And I didn't, but yeah, it was one of those things that I had started to set up. And instead, a woman kept me here.
Damn them.
Damn them women.
No, it wasn't Andrew.
Yeah.
Because Andrew would have gone with me.
Because I would have went to Australia.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I have no doubt she would have been right alongside you, leading the way.
Which, you know what? In 3 years, when my son is 18, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
I don't know if I want to hitchhike through Australia, because
20 years ago, it was very different. 25 years ago, actually. It was a different world than it is now. So I don't know about hitchhiking at this point in time. It might be rent a car.
Yeah, that I can do.
Yeah.
It's and purchase a gas can, apparently. You know, I'm worried with when climate change first became a thing in the 70s, where we had global cooling and then we had global warming, and now we call it climate change, because when it's shifting one direction, a different part is receiving a different type of climate change. And with the Great Barrier Reef essentially fucking dying out real quick, I suspect in 20, 30 years, Australia's landscape might be very different. Some of that, the weather patterns will change. Some of that desert might start to bloom, and we might see a very different landscape over the next century.
Yeah. not necessarily the Australian coast, but Southeast Asia, some of the island nations like the Maldives, which is kind of between Australia and the Eastern Asian continent. Very much so. They're seeing it even over periods as short as 5-10 years. They're seeing sea level rise, which is sufficient to salinate an island to where you can't live in it anymore.
Right. But as that happens, then weather doesn't get caught on land masses. It goes places it didn't go before. Temperature changes. This year, here in Virginia, we had snow in December. We almost never had snow in December. And the cold weather continued well into April, which normally isn't a thing. And we're getting the rains later this year than we normally do. My lawn, which it rained last weekend, my lawn is still, you squish when you walk across it right now. And normally by June, it's dry. It's April, a little bit in the May where you have the wet ground here and you got to be careful on the mower so you don't sink in. But I'm seeing it here. Now, maybe next year, back to normal. Maybe not.
But we had a huge storm, too.
We had a lot of huge storms.
And flooding.
Not normal.
And,
look at the flooding in Maryland.
Well, it may be normal every so often, so we just hit that point.
Right.
You know.
Well, I was listening to an article on, I keep calling it PBR, Public Broadcast Radio, PBS, whatever it is. And they were discussing climate change and the way it's affecting the weather, in the short term view, so we can see it. And one of the things they were saying was that hurricane season is coming, and the last few years hurricanes are moving a lot slower, and that's what's causing
this year we're getting
devastation.
We're getting them before hurricane season now. Hurricane season is coming up, but we're already seeing these tropical storms forming. So there's changes, folks.
There are.
What the cause is? Sure, go and debate that, but face the facts. There's a difference now. Wherever it came from, however it started, I don't think that really needs to be the heavy part of the discussion. The heavy part needs to be, what are we doing?
What are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
Well, I think everything changes, everything evolves, and so does the Earth. So you can't expect things to stay the same all the time.
Right. Well, look at Elizabethan era. There was a mini ice age where you could walk across the Thames, and in the UK because it would freeze over in the winter.
Absolutely.
And now it doesn't, and now we're seeing similar issues where you guys, or in the UK, got snow this year when you don't normally get snow.
No, I mean we get a little, but we don't get any to that extent, and for it to hang around that long is very, very unusual.
Right,
very unusual indeed.
When we went to visit in September of 2016, they had 90-degree days when we showed up, and they haven't had that in 45 years. Last year, or this year, Egypt saw snow for the first time in 112 years.
Yeah, things are changing.
Yeah. So, and as for cleaning up things, when it comes down to not using fossil fuels or plastics or whatever, the bottom line, people, if we clean this up, whether climate change is a problem or not, it's not going to hurt to clean the damn things up.
Yeah.
And yes, I got the video there, Richard. So.
Oh, cool.
There we go.
Cool.
I will put that in the
first
file.
dick pic.
Yeah, yeah. It's from somebody else, not I send my own, of course. Yeah, it's Merry Christmas. There you go. Hi, Grandma. So what other? Tell me something, a country you went to that you tried something or did something or saw something that you haven't experienced someplace else that you went, wow, that is definitely unique and awesome. Or horrifying.
One of the most favourite places I've ever been is the city of Prague in the Czech Republic. It's right in the middle of Central Europe, and it is hands down, I think, the most beautiful medieval Renaissance city I have ever seen. It's like walking into a film set. I had a friend who had an apartment in Prague and invited me over to stay. This is several years back, long before I met my wife. And she had an apartment right in the middle of Prague in a very old building. So we go into the building. She says, if you want to carry your suitcase upstairs, I'll meet you at the top of the stairs with the key to the apartment. I was like, this is a little odd, but there you go. So up I went. I'm stood outside the door of this apartment. She comes up the stairs. She's had to get the key from the desk clerk at the bottom. Have you ever seen those old Hammer horror movies where you go into Frankenstein's castle and there's some guy with a skeleton key, and the key's about a foot long, and it's got 2 prongs on one end and a big handle on the other? Well, that's what this chick's key to this apartment was like. So sticks it in, turns it, opens the door, and the door of this apartment's about 9 inches thick piece of wood. And it was a completely functional modern apartment inside a building that's probably been up 700 years.
Wow.
Fantastic. All built in stone. All the plumbing and electrics was on the wall. Can't drill a hole in the wall because it's rock. Everything was whitewashed.
So did she have to go back down to return the key afterwards?
No, you can keep your key. I mean, you can take it out with you if you want. It's just that the damn thing was so big, it was more convenient to leave it with the desk clerk.
Got it. Wow. Like when you go to the gas station and get the key to the restroom.
With the tire.
Yeah, and it's got a 2-foot piece of wood attached to it. Yeah, well, that's what this key was like.
Wow.
So it'd be like carrying a bread knife around in your pocket.
So how do you, when she closed the door and locked it, key again, or was it like a bar you dropped across the door? What was it?
It had 2 bolts. It had 2 enormous bolts to bolt it from the inside.
And by the way, Kennedy says New York City's mayor wants to ban straws. Disney World has banned straws and lids on cups because so many people would just throw them on the damn ground instead of putting them in the trash. So to help keep their park cleaner, they have banned these things. Which is why you buy the refillable souvenir mug or cup or...
Yeah, it's better that way.
This thing, you buy one of these and walk around with refills. Because A, they make money. B, there's no waste. You take it with you.
Yeah.
So that's.
I sometimes feel that places like Disney World and SeaWorld use how can I put it? Use environmental concerns as an advertising gimmick.
They do. I agree.
It's all marketing.
Busch Gardens here is the same way, though. And every year if I get a season pass that year, I go buy whatever souvenir cup they have with a lid and the reusable straw in it, and I go pay my $1 for a refill instead of, buying
$8 a piece.
Right. It's sensible, but I definitely believe it's a money-making angle also.
It's cynical, but if it helps, bring it on.
Yeah.
If that's the only way we can stop getting rid of so many straws, then let's do it.
So I'm curious, in Prague, what was your bathtub like?
It was just a white porcelain bathtub. It wasn't huge. It did have the big sloping back. It didn't have a seat, but it did have feet.
Yeah,
the feet. These 4 cast iron claw feet.
I love those.
It was awesome.
See,
it was awesome. Prague, if you ever get the chance, please go.
Going from the U.S. to other countries, the bathrooms are quite often different from what we're used to, and that kind of fascinates me because they're not necessarily older and worse. In some cases, they're better.
The doors fit the whole thing.
Yeah.
You actually go into an enclosed room, so you have privacy when you're doing your business instead of...
Yeah,
not a door
you don't
this
have
big.
A 2-foot gap all the way around it while you sat there trying to do your thing.
Yeah.
And also, when I went to Russia, half the bathrooms had toilets. The other half had the Asian style, where it's the porcelain insert into the floor that you squat over.
Yeah.
And I didn't use one of those because, frankly, I need somebody to tell me, what am I doing?
You have to have pretty good knees for that. You would just be stuck.
You don't have good knees for that. Plus, if you're not used to doing it, there's no guarantee that you're going to, there's no guarantee that your bomb's going to hit the target. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Kennedy says, I know the term.
Had
Go ahead, Andrew.
Go ahead. I was going to say Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
At Iceland, they had the best. It was like your own little
bathroom
pod. Yeah.
Wow.
Toey, that's a good point. Toey says, I'm sure there's squat toilet videos on YouTube. Good point. Kennedy says, I know the term restroom throws off some Europeans because they just call it the toilet. But as American prudes, we're like, let's call it something that doesn't insinuate that people shit ever.
Well, see, when we went, Kevin, our co-host on Monday, his wife is like, why do you call it a restroom? You don't rest in there. You're not taking a bath in there. It's not a bathroom. It's a toilet.
Which we do rest now that we have cell phones. So we should just call it a Facebook break room. Why is this?
You sit there on Facebook for so long that your leg goes to sleep. You fall over when you get off the park.
There are times I purposely, and I'm trying to do it more and more, leave my phone when I go to the bathroom because that way I go in there for a few minutes instead of closer to a half hour.
Oh yeah.
There's other times I purposely bring my phone in because I'm going to hide in there for 20 minutes and play a game. Or
he's going to be sending pictures.
I'm part of a cigar group where all these middle-aged men, they're like fucking college kids, and they will send pictures of themselves shitting or videos.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like, really, dudes? I mean, it's funny on occasion, but when this is what are you getting at, Kat? He's trying to get in between the books on my bookshelf. It's Giraffe.
Oh, he's a big cat, too.
He is.
Oh, that's so funny.
We have 8 cats at this point.
That's too many cats. That's a colony.
It was not on purpose. It slipped.
It wasn't on purpose. It happened.
Well, they just kind of followed you home, huh?
In some cases, yes. Do you want the cat story?
Let's have it.
I'll make it brief. I'll edit it down. So, I had a cat when I moved in. It was my last cat, and afterwards, when he passed, I went, okay, so let's not have a cat. Let's not have a litter box. Let's not have hair all over the floor. Let's not worry about hair on the clothes. And let's see how I do. See if I miss the cats or if, frankly, less work is easier. And 2 months, no more than 3, I'm like, oh, I need cats. So I went to the local shelter, picked up 2, and they were awesome. Then a girl I was working with went, well, I'm pregnant. My husband won't clean the cat box. Do you want my cat? And I went, is she fixed? And she said, no. I said, then no. She goes, I'll fix her. I'm like, really? Then yes.
She didn't do it herself. She went to a vet.
Right.
Oh.
She didn't really just pull out a knife. I'll cut a bit.
Damn.
So I'm working at this same restaurant, Mexican restaurant. Great place, by the way. If you come down, we should eat there. It's good. And the woman who runs the shelter came in and she was like, oh, Travis, we have more cats. I'm like, that's great. I don't need any more. I got 3. And she goes, well, they're all kittens. I'm like, kittens always go. She goes, well, not here. All our cages are full. And we have a waiting list for 5 more litters. And you know what they do around here if they can't get rid of their cats. They're being shot around whatever. And I went, okay, I'll come in.
Not very nice.
And maybe I'll get a kitten. Maybe 2 if they're in the same cage and bonded.
And they bonded.
Well, 1 visit.
Well,
3 cats later, we have 6 cats.
See, there's one, and I'm like, oh, this is Giraffe. He's my Giraffe. And so I'm like, we can't leave the other ones in the cage.
Yeah. And 1 is right here, and she was pretty much feral and terrified. And we brought her home figuring even if she hides, she has a safe place, quiet place where she can eat and drink and hide. And now she follows me from room to room, meowing, and she's still terrified of everything. Hey, John, good to see you.
Hey, John.
So that's 6. And then one day, I'm sitting here in the late summer, the night is cool, my window's open, I'm writing or whatever, and I hear meowing outside. And I jump up, and it's after dark, I run into the living room, I'm like, Andrea, do a cat count. Somebody's meowing out the window. And I run outside, and she's counting cats. As I walk outside the window, there's this little 8-week-old kitten. So we bring him in, and she's like, I got 6. I'm like, I got a cat. That was number 7. Number 8 is Andrea's cat, who was living with her son till he couldn't keep her anymore, and she is 17 years old. So now she's here, and we're up to 8.
Oh my goodness. Oh, the cat is 17 years old.
Yeah.
Yes, the cat
Wow.
is 17. The kid is 19. Cat is
Wow.
17.
That's getting up there for a cat.
It is.
It's getting up there.
And so, yeah, 8 cats.
It happened.
It's like the
The
7
problem-
dwarfs plus 1.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it was
They just
really-
kind of follow you home, huh?
They do. And no, we never wanted 8 cats. We don't want 8 cats now, but
Only wanted 2.
yeah. It's so there will be no more cats, and our cat count will go down as nature takes care of life like it does.
Well, Vinyarin, my elderly cat, she will never die. She is too stubborn.
So
Oh, it's almost 3:30.
it's
now.
nail time or screwdriver
Yes,
time.
it is.
Or Alan, are you ready?
Time for me to get nailed. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm
What I'm
more
going
than
to
ready.
do, guys, I'm going to make his picture so it covers the whole screen. So Andrea and I are going to be small because I think that's more important.
You don't wanna
Except
see
when
my
Andrea
reaction.
makes that face, I'm going to make it big so she can see. Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
do this to start. And there's Richard, featured for everybody. Oh, hold on one second,
Huh?
Richard. Let me adjust one thing here. I got to make my picture smaller and yours larger, so we can.
And we can tell you how to watch this afterwards. We'll
All
tell
right.
you how to do the Twitch thing if you want, so you can see it.
Okay. Go
Okay,
ahead.
you ready?
Yeah.
So, the human blockhead. What it is, it's being able to put a spike into your nose and push it back about 4 or 5 inches. And it looks really impressive. It is not difficult to do. Let me get it off my chest. I don't recommend you try it, but I will not stop you if you want. The way I did it is I started to practice with a Q-tip. And you just put a Q-tip in, just poke it in just a little bit, maybe an inch. Because the big problem is it's not painful, it tickles like you would not believe. So until you've got that, till you've got where you can suspend your tickle reflex, then you're probably not best shove anything metal in there. So I would officially not recommend starting out with a Q-tip. Just keep pushing it in. You'll know when you've gone far enough because you'll feel it hit the back of your throat. Now, when you're shoving things in your nose, which I do not recommend, people think you shove them up like this, whereas what you're actually doing is shoving them in at this angle.
Gotcha.
The human skull has what's called a sinus. It's an empty space inside, several sinuses inside the head. And what they do, they lighten the mass of the bone, and they also give your voice some resonance. And one of them is going straight back into your nostril. So, I do not have my trusty dedicated nail with me, but I do have a small flat-headed screwdriver.
Now, flat instead of Phillips?
Yeah, flat one
Why?
instead of a Phillips.
Wouldn't Phillips
Well-
be easier?
The Phillips screwdriver that I could locate this morning is too fat to go in my nose.
Okay.
I have a deviated septum, probably because I got into a lot of fights at school, and I can do it really easy up the right-hand side. Can't get the damn thing in more than an inch on the left. So I'm not an ambidextrous.
Can
Yeah,
some
a lot of
people
people
put
can do
two
that.
things in at once?
Yeah, you can put 2 things in at once if you want.
Okay.
So the trick is you got to suspend your tickle reflex, and you pretty much just work it in.
Does a screwdriver tickle also?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
It all tickles. But you can hurt yourself with a screwdriver if you push it too hard or you twist your head. Then it's hard enough that you'll damage something. Can you see this all right?
Yeah, that's perfect there.
All ready?
There we go. Watch Andrew's face.
No, it's just going in nice and flat, and I can feel it pressing against the turbinate bone. So I just adjust it a little bit. Keep going. I could get it in further than that, but the handle is stopping me.
Okay.
Okay.
And now
So there you go.
there you go, guys. Look at that.
Now you can withdraw it.
Where's the applause? Look at Andrew's face. Very good.
Oh my
Very good.
I've got an Allen key that's a little bit longer here. See if I can get this one right. It's all about the length, so you just ask Andrea.
And width.
And the width.
Something size matters in this. There he goes.
Now I can feel that at the back of my throat.
Okay, so that's when you stop. See, that's
now during the act, I'll get somebody with a claw hammer to come and pull it out.
That'd be great to do that right before your waiter walks up to your table.
Oh yeah.
And just be like, I had an accident. We have sound effects that people can play.
But yeah, I've never done that in a restaurant. Maybe I should try it.
There you go.
Hey, we should all get ready to go to the Mexican restaurant to do that.
Yeah, no kidding. If anybody sees it, I'll give myself a nosebleed. Please let me know.
We'll give
it wouldn't be the first time. Give me a shout. But he's way more impressive with a nail and a claw hammer, because you can hammer the thing in.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, my wife was utterly horrified the first time I showed her. I thought it was great, but there you go.
Well, there's nothing like making people feel horrified.
Oh,
to, make you happy.
People love to see horrible stuff. People pay money. People used to pay money. This is how vaudeville and the stage acts like that really got started, and the circus and everything. People want to pay money to watch stuff that they don't want to watch.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah. Which we've kind of lost that now with the internet, because we could just YouTube.
Yeah.
You can just YouTube stuff.
Now, what about stapling money to yourself? Do you do that too?
I have not tried that one, no.
Well, when you come over, we'll surprise
you. Jackson. Have you tried it yourself?
No. It's now I know that one you use these smaller staples,
and
when it goes in, they go in straight. So it's just piercing the top.
But it still hurts.
It does.
Yeah, it still looks pretty painful.
And you walk away with little bloody spots and everything. And
you know, there's a great act for you. Just get a bucket of Legos and throw them on the floor and then walk on it.
Oh, no.
I know the pain of that.
That would actually be a great addition to your act.
Yeah, knock yourself out with that one.
He'd rather lay on a bed of nails.
I'd much rather lay on a bed of nails.
Or hammer shit into his face. Either one is better than Legos.
Sometimes there's a trick, as in the nail in the nose thing. Sometimes you just got to grit your teeth, because it hurts.
There you go. It's
I'm sure it all hurts. It's just if you're willing to do it or not.
Oh, yeah.
I say no.
No,
I say no. Officially, we say no.
We've got 30 minutes left in the show, so we've got a lot of time, but very little compared to what we've already gone through.
All right.
So,
well, you have your list also.
I have a list, indeed. But it's, do we need another song? Do we need one last song?
Yeah, it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? Unless you want to save it for another show.
Oh, we could play it on there, too. Here's the thing. How about we go into a song, and while there's a song, all of our audience can throw out questions for him.
Or bits for him hammering shit into his
face. Yes!
Now, Gin and Juice or Baby Got Back? And feel free to chime in if either one. For those of you that weren't here earlier, these are songs by Richard as the Wandering Piccadillys, him and Dave Lee. And they are Victorian barbershop quartet with two people. So they're not a super clean recording, but they're fun. That's for damn sure. Gin and Juice, Baby Got Back. What's your preference, Richard?
Let's go for Gin and Juice. I've always liked that song. I'm a big Snoop fan. A big Snoop Dogg fan.
Have you seen his new show on Netflix?
What's he doing now?
Makes you respect the man. Andrea, you want to tell him about it real quick, and then I'll go into the song?
Well, it's called Coach Snoop, and I thought it was a comedy about him as a football coach. No, he actually has a youth league to help
I have
kids.
seen it, yeah.
So, yeah, it's really good.
Reality show, and he's helping kids who are less fortunate and giving them life lessons as well as experiences they would never be able to have otherwise, and kind of makes you. And then he's got like one buddy that travels with him who, on one hand, when he's in front of the camera talking, he's very calm and intelligent and interesting, and then you see him out there on the field, he is a total asshole. And it's a nice dichotomy.
Everybody has that friend,
There
you
we
know.
It's I might be that friend. I'm not sure. Okay, here's Jim Hughes.
So much drama in the LBC. It's not a hard being Snoopy on double G. Got to pay somehow, some way. I'm coming up with funky ass shit every single day. I've got bitches in the living room getting it on. They ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. So we're gonna smoke an ounce to this. She's opposed to hell, where you motherfuckers bounce to this. Rolling down the street, smoking endo, sipping on gin and juice. Got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Rolling down the street, smoking endo, sipping on gin and juice. Got my mind on my money and my money. Don't get upset, girl, that's just how it goes. I don't love you, hoes, I'm out the door. Then I'll be rolling down the street, smoking endo, sipping on gin and juice. Got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Rolling down the street, smoking endo, sipping on gin and juice. Got my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
And there we go. That was actually really well done. That was a good, clean recording and everything.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed doing that.
So when are you going on tour?
I don't think America's quite ready for it yet.
Well, I tell you what, if we have the margarita party,
I shall definitely bring my guitar up.
there we go. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And we can make it a sing-along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's if you remember the words in the tune, because I know if you don't play them once in a while, you don't remember. It's
you're gonna.
And I think
you get the point where you're making it up.
I'm gonna play "Baby Got Back" before the show ends, just because I like the song.
All right.
And I've heard
Finish
a couple
up,
people
Baby
do.
Got Back.
Yeah, I've seen other people do covers of it. So I like the original and I like the cover. So we'll play that too. Why not? Because we can.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh, it's and I will invite you back. By the way, I don't know.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna. I keep buttoning. This has been so much easier and so much more enjoyable than I thought it was.
A lot of people
really
spend
has.
time with me.
Yeah.
What if do you normally work weekdays?
I usually work weekends.
Oh, okay, even better then. It's
yeah, I've got a changeable shift pattern.
Me too.
If you're open to this, there are times we have guests that cancel at the last minute for whatever reason, and if that happens, if you suddenly see a Facebook message that says "busy today, want to be on the show," because then we go with a random show, kind of like what we're doing today.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, then it's 3 hours of hanging out and chilling. We are.
Yeah, I'll be up for that.
Pretty much decided we're going to move the show 2 hours later. So it'll be from 3 to 6 instead. So, but anyhow, we'll let you know.
Well, like right now, a lot more people viewing according to what it says on Twitch. I think it's because more people are off of work, and so I think the time change will be good.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Smart move for our audience and us.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd love that. I'll be happy to.
Good. I'll harass you
on
really
occasion
for it. Or if some point in time you're like, Travis, I had a great time. I really need that stress relief. Because that's what Monday has become for Elizabeth, Ed, Kevin, Andrew, and myself. It is like our therapy session every week.
But it's cheaper.
So, and originally Thursdays as VIP, Virtual International Hub, was supposed to be a duplicate of Monday, but we were going to have 2 or 3 Brits or Europeans on as our regular co-hosts. So,
right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Kennedy asked, which days will it change time?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I'm curious, Kennedy, to hear your input. Is that convenient for you, or is that less convenient for you if it's East Coast time?
If we start at
3 to 6 instead of 1 to 4, which is what we're doing now. Which we originally did for convenience in European time, but we have found we're not grabbing that many Europeans. We're still grabbing mostly Americans, so might as well make it more convenient for where our audience is. So type that out, let us know what you think, because I'm curious. This also might allow a few others more time. It will also allow us, Toei, I'm looking at you, more raid ability between channels, because there's a lot of our friends that seem to be broadcasting at the same time in the middle of the week, and we're unable. Raid on Twitch lets us take all of our viewers and move them over to a different channel when we end our broadcast, and this supports community and creates, camaraderie, etc. So we like that.
And it helps you discover new content.
That's true.
This is how we've gotten some of our viewers.
Absolutely. Des that popped in for a few minutes earlier was definitely one of those transplants from other channels who found us this way, and quite a few others. See, John says 3 to 6 is better for him. So yeah, this sounds like a reasonable concept. And Andrea, what I'll probably do is contact some of these other guests that we're comfortable with and go, hey, it's 2 hours later.
Hey, you want to change? Oh.
Somebody's squeaking.
It's my chair. My chair sucks. I'm just trying to read. Oh, also, are you available for hire for parties as a strongman?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I am. Do you have one in mind?
Well, not yet,
margarita party.
Yeah,
the margarita party.
By
you
hire,
can come to the margarita party.
Give you alcohol.
But hey, John, Max RPG on Twitch. He is John from Jersey's Cards and Comics in Gloucester.
All right.
So, John, if you need a strongman,
there you go.
There's one.
Yeah, knock yourself out, man.
And Toei says my streams end at 4, though, so maybe if people don't like your topic, they can come catch the end of my stream. Absolutely, Toei. Absolutely. And also, Toei, you are a moderator. At any point in time you enter our chat stream, feel free to do a shout-out for yourself. Anytime. Kennedy says, I put on headphones at work, do techie stuff while you entertain me. Might miss a half hour at times. There we go. Or you could be on the train heading home with your earphones in. It's I don't know if you get reception on the train. August 11th, yes. Comics Con.
Okay. No, you're reading it. Go ahead.
Yeah, just John from Jersey says Comics Con is for us is August 11th. So August 11th, if you're bored, I've put that on my calendar also. I'll probably be showing up there.
Would that be at the store?
Oh, you know what?
At the comic store?
I don't recall. I want to say it's at the library.
I know Gloucester Library have done it a couple of years.
Yeah, I believe it's Gloucester Library. I'm looking at my calendar right now. Yeah, Gloucester Library. And you know where that is.
Oh, yeah.
Not Jersey State, Kennedy. It's called Jersey's Comics and Cards. It's the name of the store. He's in Gloucester, Virginia. And also, it's one of those things. Here's the beauty part. If you enjoy coming on, you come on semi-regular. If you hear we have a certain... Oh, thank you, Sally. Appreciate that, Elizabeth. Sally and Elizabeth, same name. One's a screen name. But what I'm saying is, if you come on a regular basis, and if we have somebody on that you know you like and you'd like to talk to, I don't mind bringing one extra. I don't like to flood a guest, especially if we get a big name on there, but I don't mind bringing one extra person in who's just going to have a good time and be a fan. Because that's...
Someone who can play well with others.
Right. We all have to know when to talk and dominate the conversation and when the hell to shut up and let somebody else do it. So, and you've done great with that.
Well, that's great. Cool. I'm glad glad to do it.
Yeah, we like you. So there you go.
Yeah, well, that's good. You'll let me stay, huh?
If you're willing to come in the door again, I know a lot of people when I make these offers, they're like, I better say yes, otherwise, who knows what he'll do. Yes, Andrea? Oh, are you saying you're one of those people?
No, I'm just like, no, stay out the door. I don't want no. Anyway.
So let's see here. 15 minutes to wrap it up. Let's go to Play Baby Got Back and get that. And then we can come back and talk about what we have going on next week and what else. So here's Baby Got Back. I love the Spanish guitar.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. You know the brothers can't deny that when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung like a pulled up tuft, 'cause you know that body stuff. My homeboys try to warn me, but that bug you've got makes me so horny. 'Cause I'm long and I'm strong, and I'm gonna get the friction. So fellas, does your girlfriend shake that healthy bone? Baby got back, baby got back, baby got back.
Dead ass, am I right?
That's the Oakland booty, I take it. Well, I
didn't have a lighter, so.
Oh. Well, I hope your audience liked it.
Apparently they did.
Well, no, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're on mute, Travis.
I was saying all kinds of nice things. See, with the sound effects, our audience gets 2 shots. They're like points every 10 minutes, and they can spend them to purchase sound effects or interaction.
Which you heard.
Show. So that's why you had the donkey when talking about butts and the cock and all that good stuff.
The cat. And
there was pussy, ass, and cock in your song.
Wow. What more could you ask for?
There you go. And I can imagine sitting in a pub listening to one guy on the stage do this and enjoying the hell out of it. It's by the way, John says a strong man would be great for the con right after the magic act. Thank you, Kennedy.
All right. Be happy to do it.
Yeah.
Tell him I'll be happy to do it.
What I'll do is I'll create a Facebook conversation between the 3 of us, and then I'll shut up and let you guys discuss what you need to discuss.
Okay. Cool.
What I'm thinking is this would be great to do on stage at Retro Daddy-O for open mic night.
Yes,
it's in Williamsburg.
You know what? Yeah, they do have an open mic night, and also we're planning a few live shows and broadcasts from there. So, for example, I yesterday we're talking, and our guests mentioned even when they were like in their pre-teens, they didn't want presents at their birthday party, so they would say, "Bring a gift for this charity." And I went, that's a great idea. If we find an animal shelter or a charity, people could bring dog food or cat toys or litter or whatever. Instead of buying me something, they just drop it off and we drop it off at whatever local place.
Yeah.
So that, if we did a live show and you were able to come, we could definitely have music breaks with live music in front of our broadcast.
Yeah, we can do that.
So
we'll give you a margarita or
cool.
two before you go on stage.
I was going to say, you might have to liquor me up a bit before I get going.
It'll liquor you up and down.
Oh,
damn. It's one of those things. It's a fun show, and like we said, it's a conversation as opposed to, we're going to ask you a question and make you talk about something.
And we've done live shows places before, so.
Yeah, we have definitely filled a room or two with 100+ people now and then.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's usually at a convention.
Yeah.
So let's see here. What do we got in the last 10 minutes? Let's talk about who we have next week. Now, Monday, we're going to talk about Star Wars fandom. So we're going to discuss the 9 core movies, the solo movies, not just solo movie, but the standalone movies. The comics, the books, the toys, everything, the whole Star Wars fandom. Tuesday, we have Zola Mark out of Canada of Pink Cocoon coming on, talk about his music. Wednesday, we have world-famous comedian Brad Williams, who's awesome. And Thursday, we don't actually have a guest yet. Hey, Elizabeth, you got off next Thursday? Should we try to get Richard back on with you on Thursday?
Oh, that would be interesting.
I thought about inviting her today, but I wanted to give Richard the experience by himself before we, brought other people in. So, Richard, are you available next Thursday and interested?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
Because we can schedule this right now because I haven't filled that slot yet, so I'd rather put
that'd be great.
There we go. We will schedule that. We'll bring you back on. Hold on. And Elizabeth, if you're still listening, let me know if you're available. Go ahead, Andrea.
Are we going to do this at the new time or the regular time?
New time. I am going to shift everything to the new time as much as I can.
So it'll be at 3 to start, Richard.
Okay, that's cool.
Let me put 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. until all the other pre-scheduled shows fills out. That way I don't get confused, because I will. It's, yeah. Friday.
Yeah, what?
Elizabeth, so what about next Thursday? Are you busy next Thursday? Because it says, looks like 21. I am available. I don't... This is the 14th. You're a week ahead of yourself. So
yeah, today's the 7th, so it's the 14th you're looking at.
You're busy.
She said not the 14th. Hey, now
Kevin's available.
You said 3 to 5. Is it 3 to 5 or 3 to 6?
Oh, 3 to 6. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Making sure. Okay.
Okay. So Elizabeth, we'll keep you in mind from that point in time, because we don't have anything scheduled for that. But I
don't know if we have any. That's the first day of summer.
It is, and I have 4 people right now who I need to set dates with, who are waiting for me to get back to them. So we'll see what fills and what doesn't. It's
okay.
But there we go. It's and I'll look to see who we're going to raid here in a moment. Let's see.
No, we're not doing a naked show. No.
Naked show.
Well, if we do, my camera will be there. There we go.
And mine will go in the other direction.
Oh my God.
I want to show off my tattoo.
Your accoutrement.
It's who are we gonna raid? Let me go look. I've been taking the easy way out the past week and just raiding the Doctor Who 24-hour stream, which is something we might
watching
do.
That you can log in to watch the Doctor Who presentation. You get tickets and entered into a drawing for a Doctor Who fan pack or a trip to London Comic Con. So
wow.
I'm trying.
There we go. Let's copy that. There we go. Let me set this up so it's good to go once we're done here. Okay.
So what is raiding again?
Raiding is basically where I put a thing in the chat, and everybody still in the chat is automatically transferred over unless they specifically click no, that they don't want to, and they cancel it.
Gotcha.
So
it takes them to another channel.
Yeah, it gives them other entertainment as well as lets other streamers get a little boost in their audience viewing numbers.
Cool.
So potentially, we raid people that do gaming, we raid people that do talk, we raid people that do live music. There are whole
good way to share the love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm looking at my list, seeing if there's anything we could chat about for 3 minutes before we... So let's see. What other countries have you been to? Have you been to any of Asia?
No. I have not been to any of Asia, but one of the most fascinating countries I ever went to was Cyprus. Cyprus, it's... I'm sure everybody knows, but I have met a couple of people who don't know where it is. It's an island in the Mediterranean Sea.
Okay, I did not know. So that's good.
Oh,
yeah,
it's an island in the Mediterranean Sea, and it's about, I don't know how big it is. It's not very big.
Do they have a lot of cypress trees?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was curious if there was a relation.
Well, the thing about Cyprus is that it's divided in the middle. Half of it's Greek, half of it's Turkish. And there's an actual border fence right down the middle of it.
How tall is it?
30, 40 feet.
Wow.
Chain link fence. Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah.
I went there with a couple of friends of mine. This is back in the early 90s. We just stayed in a hotel and went around the island. Well, it's not very big, and the weather's just... You couldn't ask for better weather. It's beautiful. It's hot, but it's not too hot. It's not humid at all. There's no flies. So we got round it with these little mopeds. You hire a little motor scooter. Well, the one thing they tell you is that you can take these scooters off-road, but do not ride up towards the border fence. We're on the Greek side.
Okay.
Well, of course.
Right.
Who's going to obey that order? So the three of us are riding up this path, up this stony path towards the border fence. Well, I shit you not, a gunboat came round the headland. A Turkish gunboat came round the headland. And 3 Land Rovers from the Turkish army came up, pointed their weapons at us, pretty much in Turkish said, "Get the fuck away from that border fence." I've never been so scared in all my life.
Nice.
Never seen anything like it. Just three fat, half-drunk English tourists on a Honda Melody, winding up through a country road, and all of a sudden a Turkish gunboat comes flying around the headland. I mean, I thought we were going to get arrested. I really did.
Well, you hadn't crossed the border yet.
No, we hadn't. But we were in the DMZ.
Ah.
We were in the demilitarized zone. I mean, they're serious about it.
I don't feel like the Greeks are that big of a threat that they really need all that. But I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, the island's been in dispute for God knows how many hundreds of thousands or thousands of years.
Yeah.
The Greeks say it's theirs, the Turks say it's theirs. There's a fence in the middle. Sometimes it's been Greek, sometimes it's been Turkish. It's like every other land battle. It's
right.
Just ongoing through generations. And I think the heat has calmed down now. But this was back 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, more like 20 years ago. And make no mistake, they were serious about it.
That's interesting. It'll be, especially with the Greeks had the economy collapse 3 years ago or so, right?
Yeah.
So
yes, they did.
I'm guessing that has shifted things slightly in some way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We are a minute and a half out, so I want to thank everybody. And Richard, thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
We need a closing toast.
We do. Do you have a good, swanky British toast?
Yeah, there you go.
Go ahead. Go on.
All right. Here's to the good ship Talk of the Tavern and all that sail in her.
Ah, thank you. Here's to you.
You're here.
My plastic mug doesn't clink nearly satisfyingly as much as
You've got to get a clinky mug. Yeah.
Well, we on our store we do have like Talk of the Tavern pint glasses and coffee cups and stuff like that. So I need to order one of those.
You need to order one of those. Yeah.
The link is below the video, correct?
It is. Yeah. If you scroll down, you'll see it. By the way, everyone, I want to thank everyone who has been supporting us via Patreon, throwing bits, subscribing, and now my Kickstarter. I really appreciate all those things you guys are doing. And by support, financial, yes, but also just sharing it around and letting people know about it, because that helps a lot. Okay, let's do a closing thing here and wave at the camera as we go out. Thanks for joining us in the discussion shenanigans tonight. You are the one thing that makes the show what it is. Don't forget to join us at the tavern next week. Until then, have fun, keep learning, and be good to one another. Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day and steamy dreams every night. I like our music.
It is pretty cool. It's got that 60s vibe to it. So.
Yeah.